1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. What's up, gang? Gang, I may look a little perturbed. I'm gonna try to keep it easy. But I have to do this, gang. I don't know what's going on. Well, I do know what's going on. And let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Let me know if you can hear me clearly out there. Salute to the chat. I see you in there. Salute to the chat. I don't know if y'all know what's going on. I don't know if y'all know what's going on. But there's a lot of tomfoolery, and we're going to discuss this. Salute to the chat. I'm going to talk about what's going on with J. Cole because, man, it's getting real crazy. It's getting real up in the field, all right? Listen, I'm going to show the video. I'm going to be here for a little bit. I'm going to be here for a while, gang, because there's so much to unpack with this J. Cole Lost in Vegas interview. And I'm making a couple people moderators already started, but we're not having no nonsense today, gang. Because like Mobb Deep said, there's a war outside. No man is safe right now, gang. They trying to change the culture. And I understand why, but I told you last year that they would. And if you look around, look who's trying to change the culture. Look who the guys that are trying to change the culture, gang. I'm going to be here for a while, man. Get you some snacks, man. Get you some snacks. I don't know if you like trail mix. I don't know if you like cotton candy. Get you something that's going to last a while. I'm going to be here for a while. But, Funny niggas is standing up, gang. Funny style niggas is standing up. And I see where it's going. I've been telling you since the clips dropped. They've been trying to change that word culture before the clips dropped. You saw them attacking that word. You saw academics attacking that word. You saw Drake fans attacking that word. You saw a lot of people, especially when the clips dropped, they was attacking that word culture. Out of nowhere, the culture became a dirty word. And you got a lot of people that ain't even in this country or culture is out there attacking this word, let alone the guys that's in this country and in this culture attacking the word. And I'm embarrassed for some of you guys because you shook your head and said, J. Cole is right, he's cooking. We're going to get to why J. Cole is saying that the culture is a dirty word or don't exist or whatever he said. I got two clips I'm going to play. It's two parts of this interview. Salute the Lost in Vegas. I don't know these guys from a hole in the wall, but they got a big interview for them, and that's amazing. But at the end of the day, I have to start at the start. Lost in Vegas is a very pro-Drake show. Just so you know. So J. Cole going on choosing a very pro-Drake show tells you the energy he's on, right? Now, end of the day, you can go on any show you want, but where you land it says a lot about what you're trying to say. And then when you go on their show, who is very pro-Drake and not very pro-Kendrick, and you say that the culture is a buzzword and it doesn't exist, yeah, we got issues. Because they've been trying to take the culture from us for at least a year, maybe two, since this battle started. The reason that J. Cole is trying to take this word culture from us is because that's who is having the issue with what he did and is still doing. This is one of the worst media runs I think I have ever seen. And to cap it all off, he said that the culture is a buzzword now. It means nothing. Now, just like with the Jay-Z thing, and we're going to talk about Hov, there are going to be people that come in my comments and say, he didn't mean what he said. That's not how he meant it. You don't know what you're talking about, Challz. That's not what he meant, Challz. You're wrong. It ain't too many ways to misquote somebody when they're giving direct quotes. So when they get away from That's not what he said. They're going to lean into, he's right. It ain't no fucking culture. So it's going to go from he didn't mean it that way to there ain't no culture. He even went so far as to say it's paid, but it's paid by this guy and that guy and the third to farm engagement. Now he's going to discredit the whole culture. Now it ain't no culture. I say let me start. Let me start here. Let me start here. To defeat something that's against you, you have to minimize it and reverse whatever's good about it. You got to start at the start. You can't defeat the word culture unless you diminish the word culture first. Just like, and I'm gonna say something, and your first knee-jerk reaction gonna be like, damn, the fuck you going with this? But Black Lives Matter was diminished. When that first happened, wasn't no paid, wasn't no Soros, this and that and the third. When that first happened, black people were really upset about Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, and others who were dying at the hands of individuals that were perceived to be in power. And I 100%, there was some black girl somewhere and she just wrote, Black Lives Matter. She was just sick of the shit. It was obvious that we weren't being looked at as we mattered. It wasn't a whole program. It wasn't this, that, and the third. But after a while, it became a little too powerful. It was a hashtag that started to mean some shit. So guess what they got to do? Diminish it and bastardize it and take it from you. And we're going to talk about that because Cole goes in his interview talking about slang words that get taken by white girls. Now they don't mean nothing. He says it's some girl in Idaho or wherever he's talking about that she took the word T from black girls and now it diminishes our slang. Cole was on some shit, gang. Cole so far left right now, or right, depending on how you look at it, that he's saying anything to diminish everything black. Everything we do is saying, he basically saying if it can be mimicked on the internet, then it ain't cool no more. Right? But what I was saying about Black Lives Matter, they took that shit and made it into the worst slang ever. And they effectively, it took them some time, but after a while, like the word woke, right? Woke was not a thing woke was one of our most proudest words. Like, stay woke, my brother. And you know what they did with woke? They turned woke almost into a racist dog whistle. They use woke in a bad way right now. Right? At one point, black people was proud to be woke. We was the opposite of sleep. So we were saying we were woke. And now, guess what? Guess what now? When they talk about Marvel movies and this, that, and the third, what's the worst thing you can say about a Marvel movie? It's woke. Right? Let's just be honest. We gonna cook J. Cole ass today, my G. But the people that try to diminish these words like culture and woke is because they're the most affected by them. They don't fit into the culture and they're not woke. And they don't care that Black Lives Matter. So we're going to start there because I seen a lot of tomfoolery today, gang. Gang, I'm going to be here for a while, man. I'm just going to be honest. I seen a lot of tomfoolery today. J. Cole shouting out creators. After he just told us he had to get off YouTube, he shouts out 5 creators that he likes, including the Las Vegas guys that he sat down with. He likes No Life Shack, apparently. He likes Knox Hill. Salute to Knox Hill. And he likes some others, right? But this is after he went on that show and told us I had to get off YouTube because the narrative. He tried to make it like the algorithm was sending them all this anti-J. Cole shit. No, nigga, you on there looking at it. I don't get shit in my algorithm that I don't look at. Called algorithm. So he said he had to get off Twitter. Then the only thing left was YouTube. Then he had to get off YouTube because every other fucking suggestion was J. Cole shit. Well, guess what, J. Cole? You gotta look for J. Cole shit for it to be in your algorithm, my G. Just so you know how algorithms work, my guy. J. Cole been telling us a lot of tomfoolery, gang. He been telling us a lot of weirdo shit. But he touched it all. He showed his hand this time, gang. We've been eating food, gang, for 2 weeks straight with these goofy ass interviews. But this one right here, oh my God. He got real comfortable with this one. Because they was chuckling with him. They made this guy feel like this was the greatest thing since sliced bread. We got Cole. We rented out a new studio. This is just for you, Cole, my G. Thank you for being here. Gang, listen. Get you something to eat. We're going to be here. And I'm going to play the interview. Salute to them guys for getting their dream interview, but we're going to have this conversation. Okay? He like No Life Shaq, but didn't No Life Shaq said that was some big ass sucker shit? And now he got a hoodie. Now he got a J. Cole hoodie. Am I bugging out? Did No Life Shaq get a J. Cole hoodie or was it somebody else? See, J. Cole like the pro J. Cole channels, then that's fine. But J. Cole also tried to act like he don't watch the YouTube channels because it's too much, it's too distracting. He told us a week ago that he had to get off YouTube. I think it was Nadeska. Right? He was either Nadeska or Camron that he had to get off YouTube. Comes back this week on a new video shouting out niggas by name. I like No Life Shaq. I like Knox. I like this guy, that guy, and a third. And I would love to do their podcast. A lot of motherfuckers that you can do that's going to really ask you some questions. But I told y'all he had Camron up there looking like puppy dog eyes Slim. He had Nadeska up there with the puppy dog eyes. They can't even get a word in edgewise. Is my mic good? Are y'all hearing me? What's going on? I'm gonna have this conversation because you know what it is too. This is the deal right here. This is the deal right here. This culture word. And the problem with the culture, the problem with his statements on the culture, I feel like a lot of people want to diminish the culture when the culture ain't behind them. You'll never hear the clips talking about ain't no such thing as the culture. Right? Now, the culture ain't perfect. And we've heard Kendrick say things about the culture, this, that, and the third, and that Hard Part 5, if I'm not mistaken. But he was making a greater point about things that happens in the culture that ain't always this, that, and the third. He never said it don't exist. But we gonna have a conversation. I love that I'm watching his interview and J. Cole has a whole diatribe about biases. Like the other YouTubers are biased and you guys are not. These the guys that literally went through the Not Like Us, said there wasn't one bar in there till he said A minor. It's impossible to go on a show and say, you guys are cool because you're not biased. I like shows that's not biased. And then you go to their platform, which is 100% biased. You guys just do the music. You don't get into all the other stuff, the antics. Gang, this ain't me making this up. This is what Cole told these two guys. You guys don't get into the nonsense. You don't placate. This is what J. Cole was telling these two individuals. Salute to them, because they're just doing their job. They're supposed to do this stuff and get the big interviews and land the deal and get bigger and grow higher. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But when J. Cole get up there with this agenda that we clearly see Jay-Z, I don't know. Listen, gang, listen. I know what's going on, but I don't know what's going on because we just saw J. Cole sit up there and say we don't need no more battles. They're getting too rough and tough. And he literally said, I dare nigga to try to say he didn't. He said, I don't like what they did to Drake. I don't love that. That's what Hov said. J. Cole been telling you in all 3 interviews he don't love what you guys did to Drake. I don't know what's going on with this Drake sympathy. I don't know if that nigga knows that Drake asked for that fucking battle, just like everybody else that was involved. Now it's too far, and we got to stop the battle records. Stop it, because Hove don't like them. No, Hove don't like it when you diss Drake, and for whatever reason, I don't know what call these niggas getting from these billionaires or what the fuck going on, but this whole thing to reverse the narrative and we're too mean. I don't know if these niggas know Stan Culture been here since fucking MySpace was around, my G. Stan Culture been here since the only thing you could talk on was blogs and Yahoo Messenger and those fucking little message boards they used to have in those chat rooms. Motherfuckers was divisive and angry talking about rappers back then. I don't understand why it's so bad now that it happened to fucking Drake, who was out here actively trying to be, he was trying to be the one doing all the fucking this, that, and the third. Keep telling y'all, had Drake won that battle, you wouldn't have heard the end of that shit. It would have been 2 days. It would have been 2 years straight of celebrating. But since he lost, and Kendrick went on to eat the food, I told you he eat what he killed. Since he lost, now they want to reverse everything. The culture's too mean. The culture's too foul. It's too much of rhetoric. You can't have battles no more. So let's end the battles. As if Kendrick created Stand-em. This nigga J. Cole hasn't stood on one goddamn thing in any of these interviews. Everything they ask him, I didn't know it was like that. They asked him about the line where he calls Jay-Z the so-called kings of his rap things. And they asked him straight up, like, was that about Jay-Z? Like, I don't even know why y'all took it like that, because I didn't mean it like that. Every single thing J. Cole says in these interviews was misconstrued by us. And he didn't mean it that, never once stand on the shit. How can I call you a so-called king but not realize I just fucking dissed you? Everything that has been asked of J. Cole, he has been playing like he can't understand why you see it that way. And that takes me back to the culture, because in the culture, it's rules, nigga. And this is the thing. When you got rules, some of these people want to pick and choose the rules, and then they want to say, oh, it's something wrong with the culture for having that rule. Nobody was questioning battles. No one was questioning diss records or the angriness of battles or how mean a battle can be. No one was questioning that until J. Cole backed out of his battle, that he was the first one to start. Let's just be honest. I know like that is actual record, it actually exists, but in that record, J. Cole just said it himself. He was not dissed. But somehow he decided to do his 7-minute drill record anyway because of peer pressure. 39 years old, getting peer pressured. And I might do it again because I read the lyrics of 7-minute drill last stream I did, and them lyrics is heinous. You can't visualize what he really was saying unless you hear those lyrics. You cannot visualize how nasty J. Cole got unless you hear those lyrics. I think I'm going to read it again because I need you to understand how fucking pathetic this nigga is on this run right here. Making it like, oh, shucks, I didn't know. I didn't know. You guys took it that way. This fucking paper thin ass act that Cole is going through. And now you're shouting out creators. When you just, dog, let me explain to you how ridiculous this shit sound. Just last week, when he was on the Deska show, and he came out basically saying that these creators are saying and doing way too much, and they're the problem. He literally was saying that. And then guess what happened? People was in my comments. He's talking about you. Well, these are all the creators that are critical of him, I guess, because this week he's shouting out creators and reactors. Last week, it was the problem was creators and reactors. This week, he's shouting out creators and reactors that he likes. And we're going to get to culture. We're going to get to culture. I got the definition and I got a whole lot more to talk about. I'm going to be here. But this is what I'm talking about. Cole is not being 100. This is the worst interview run we have seen in years. I put on my Twitter yesterday. I think last I checked it was at like 35,000. I said J. Cole saw the Clips magnificent interview run and said, I'm going to do that, but way, way worse. And he achieved that. He achieved that. It's way, way worse than the Clips run. And we're going to get to the word culture. I promise you that. We're going to get to the word culture because J. Cole wants to eliminate that word. You know what? Let me explain something to you. As they try to eliminate the word culture and make it like a buzzword and make it like it's being bought and paid, right? It's bought and paid. The culture were the people that was using the words like woke, right? We were the ones using that, and they flipped it on us. Took the word, turned it into a dirty word. It's almost racial. It's almost racial, right? It's a lot of things that they took, and now they're taking the culture. They're trying to, but not on my watch. Not on my watch. And J. Cole is one of the people that the culture starting to side-eye really, really bad. So now he's on his third, fourth podcast, and now the culture is a buzzword. And now you can't trust the culture no more because it don't exist. And I'm going to play that clip so you can understand what's going on. But now all of a sudden, the culture, do you know? So let me read this, what the culture is. Let me read this, guys. Get you some M&Ms, gang. We're going to be here. The meaning of the word culture, it has two definitions that I can discern. One, the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. Quote, 20th century popular culture. That's an example. The other meaning is number two, the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. Number two is what we're talking about. I'm going to read it again. Right? And Alicia's right. J. Cole, I believe he has a communications degree. So him playing dumb is don't make no sense. But let me read this. The customs, arts, and social institutions and achievements of a particular nation, people, or social group. Customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, and other social group. Now, that can be described as hip-hop, right? A social group. Now, to say that there's no culture is the most disingenuous shit ever. But do you know why he's saying that there's no culture and it doesn't exist? It's just a buzzword because that very culture has turned on him. But do you know why that culture has turned on him? And a lot of his fans are really, really up in arms, trying to this morning, trying to get in front of this and make it like Cole is right. You're just mad. A lot of them ain't the culture either. But a lot of them will turn their back on the culture for a particular artist. I try not to do that. I just had a whole diatribe against Jay-Z, and I'm a big Jay-Z fan. But when Jay-Z said the culture don't need no more battling, oh yeah, I had to sit with that for like 3-4 minutes, and I had to be like, ain't no way that you're going to spin this into nothing because it ain't nothing to spin. He said it. So guess what, Charles? You got to cook Jay-Z, and I proceeded to do so. So right here, Cole is right there. Now he has a problem with the culture. You know why? Because the culture, the one that they're trying to diminish and say don't exist, they're the ones that's saying you can't back out of a battle. The culture, right? Do I got to read? I'm going to read it one more time. The culture, the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievement of a particular nation, people, or group, or social group. That is hip hop. And hip hop as a collective was on J. Cole's neck. And when you summed up who was on J. Cole's neck, they were calling it the culture. So for 2 years, J. Cole had to hear that term culture. He had to hear people try to diminish that term culture because it's a real thing, it's a real place, it's a real space. So the only people that really had an issue, you got to think, the only people going to have an issue with the laws and rules of the culture are people in the culture. So with those people saying, you can't back out of a battle, J. Cole, that's sucker shit. Guess who's saying that? Who even knows about battles other than the culture? So J. Cole been getting his ass handed to him by the culture. So now he's on the Lost in Vegas show talking about it's a buzzword. It's being bought and paid. So now you know what J. Cole's trying to say? All of them people saying that I came back out of a battle, they're bought and paid for. He wants us to believe that the real world don't think that he's lame for that. When he said this the lamest shit I've ever done. Do y'all know J. Cole said that on his Dreamville stage? I ain't make that shit up. He said that. He said, this is the lamest shit I ever done. He claimed he came out an hour before. He came to the conclusion an hour before he went on the Dreamville stage that this was the lamest shit and I'm going to apologize to Kendrick. Which we all know was only because the culture didn't accept the fucking record. Okay? And I'm probably going to read them words because I need the J. Cole fans to understand. This nigga said some really fucking heinous shit to K-Dot. J. Cole's record, 7 Minute Drill, I'm just going to be honest in case you niggas don't know, that record is worse than all of Drake's records combined. Them lyrics for 7 Minute Drill. They're worse than Family. He says some really nasty shit to this guy. But he keeps trying to convince us that that's my friend. Then you go on an anti-Kendrick podcast. Okay? But that's your friend. You keep telling us that that's my friend. Then the Drake fans get in my comments and say, I'm sorry, the J. Cole fans get in my comments and say, what are you not getting? He didn't want to attack his friend. Guess what? He already fucking attacked him. He came to his senses. Yeah, 2 days later. And he kept the shit on DSPs until the numbers came back, the streaming numbers. Then he took it down. Because he had a new deal that he had to meet some requirements of. And nothing better than a good old-fashioned diss record. So we're going to have this conversation because there's a reason J. Cole is saying that the culture is a buzzword and it don't exist. There's a reason. He went on this diatribe about slang, this, that, and the third. But there's a reason for these things. J. Cole has been doing a lot of thinking about this. He's been watching a lot of YouTube videos like my shit. Because I'm sure after you went through that algorithm and you watched this one and that one about Cole, another one came up and one of them shits wasn't good about J. Cole. One of them probably was me talking shit about J. Cole. But you know why? I don't talk shit about J. Cole because I don't like J. Cole. I talk shit about J. Cole because I represent the culture. And J. Cole is trying to destroy that word right now. If the culture is just a buzzword, this just food for thought. If the culture is just a buzzword, then why were most people arguing about him backing out of the battle? You can only get but so much out of paying bots. There were mad people still to this day not jacking him backing out of that battle. Culturally, it didn't look good. And 2 years later, they're still saying that. If culture don't exist, why are those creators that he like still trying to convince us that we're wrong for still holding on to that? Wayno and others, they still trying to tell us, you still holding on to that? Y'all still talking about the battle? Yes, nigga, sometimes shit you do has consequences. And you went against the culture. And you haven't done nothing to prove us that we should let you back in, or we ain't even kick you out. But now at this point, okay? We saw what you did with 7 Minute Drill. We saw how heinous shit that you did. And we saw that people wasn't feeling it. So you deleted it. And then you were supposed to be falling back. But then you come back with Port Antonio, the love letter to Drake. We're like, wait, what the fuck do Drake get a love letter fucking for? Ain't you supposed to be Kendrick? Why are you leaning Drake? But you keep trying to tell us out the side of your face, Kendrick is your fan. I mean, your friend. Then we get this weird ass grippy verse. And then now we're supposed to be worked up about the fall off randomly out of nowhere. And for some reason, Cole got us now trying to still discuss the battle all over again. They want to tell us like we keep bringing up the battle when Cole come out of nowhere on these interviews, got nothing. Every single interview he's discussed it. Then they go in my comments, you reactors, you're eating off Cole. If it wasn't for Cole, you wouldn't be eating. Like I'm bringing it up. Cole is bringing up this battle. Cole is talking about this. He went on Camron show with that contrived ass skit. Lawyers, man, G. Like, what you doing, gang? Y'all made a whole skit for the interview and try to pretend like in the interview set. Where we at? Hold on. So what I'm trying to say is, how are we here? How did we get here? How did we get here with Cole? The reason that they need this culture word to die, because then the codes die. If they can discredit the culture, the people like me and you, most likely, that's watching this, the people like me and you that stand on business with this hip-hop shit, then they can say, well, then what are we talking about? There was no breach of contract, there was no breach of code, and there was no breach of culture. If they can discredit the whole thing we stand for, there are codes in this hip-hop shit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Certain shit you don't do, right? Like you don't actively try to sleep with a man's girlfriend, which seems to be on brand with the niggas that run in this little circle that don't want no more codes. But all of a sudden, they don't want no more codes. They don't want no more. They don't want the culture. Cole has been doing a lot of suspect shit lately with these interviews, and this is the bottom line. This Cole, I want to talk about the other stuff that he's saying and done in these interviews. We're going to get to that, right? We're going to get to that. But I want to stay focused on this culture thing because a lot of people were on my post. He's right. Culture's dead. Culture's done. Ain't no such thing as the culture. Why is no culture? Because a lot of you guys have decided to pick one man over what the culture stands for. We've been battling for 50 years, but all of a sudden, because Cole backed out of a battle, we don't need to fulfill our battles no more. We don't need to do that. What are we doing that for? It's to the point where you can just do anything. You can bow out. You can jump in, this to do most heinous shit ever. Then you could just bow out, go about your business, and you get praised for that. You get praised for bowing out of the battle. You get praised for growing up. Why are you getting praised for growing up when hip hop is about competition? It's not immature to battle. So why are we calling him? Why are we saying he grew up? He matured. You still rapping, ain't you? You still putting your pen to paper. You still calling yourself the best rapper. Guess what? In the culture, you can't call yourself the best if when the best come around, you fold up. When the best come around, you go on stage and say, how many of y'all love Kendrick Lamar? As do I. Put a fist in the air for K-Dot. When you've been telling us for 3 years plus that you're the best and you're Muhammad Ali and nobody better step to you. And I've been saying this for weeks. I put your favorite rapper neck in a noose. You've been saying that for months. And then when somebody arguably ready to go and scrap for that best title, now you shoot your shot, you swing, you miss, you get on your moped and you go right off. At that point, you're out of the conversation, but you want to be let back in. And we had a lot of think pieces about how we're holding on to outdated this, that, and the third. And if I'm a thinking man like J. Cole, I'm gonna say, well, what's keeping these people from being on my team again and giving my album a chance? This fucking culture. So guess what he got to do? He got to diminish that word for me and you. And if I'm a Cole fan who really ain't into hip hop like that anyway, let's just be honest. I'm gonna say some real shit right here, right now. I don't watch basketball no more like that. Really, never. Because I was a Jordan fan, right? I was a huge Jordan fan. And when players like Jordan, other players of that ilk left the league, Reggie Miller, a lot of guys I can name. I can say the name Tracy. I can name a bunch of people. But as they started leaving the league, I started to diminish my desire to watch basketball. All right. Now, I know about fouls and I know all the call. I know the rules of basketball. But if you were to say, okay, Challz, are you still a basketball fan or are you a Jordan fan? I'm going to have to be honest. I'm a Jordan fan. So if Jordan says this and Jordan says that, a lot of times I'm gonna say, well, Jordan is right about this, that, and the third. Even though I know that the basketball players now don't feel that way, they don't play like that, or whatever the case may be, or it's against the code of basketball, right? If I'm just a guy that just watches something, I didn't get into it because I really was in basketball before Jordan. So, but it just stay focused. If I'm a guy who only liked basketball because of Jordan, then I'm going to agree with everything Jordan says and does. This is what we got with these J. Cole fans. They're going to agree. They're going to ride and say everything that J. Cole says and does is facts. So when J. Cole backs out of a battle on some scary shit, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you try to slice it up and dice it up, it's weak. It goes against the code of the culture. It's never been done. Either you didn't battle or you battled and you stood on what you did. You've never jumped in and then jumped out 2 days later and big up the guy that you just dissed and say that he's great and I hope he forgives me. And if you come back swinging, I'll take it on the chin. That shit never has happened before. So J. Cole fans had to pivot and start to figure out a way to smooth this over. And so the narrative became, you guys are Neanderthals. You want to see black men fight. No one wants to see blood. This is getting dangerous. Don't you remember what happened to Tupac and Biggie? Have you guys learned nothing? Mind you, these are the same people who that when 7 Minute Drill dropped, they was the ones bumping that and saying how dope that was. And then 2 days later, they had to eat that shit like oatmeal and flip the script, but they don't mind flipping the script. Because they're not hip-hop heads. They're not fans of the culture. They're fans of J. Cole. All right? So therefore, J. Cole can flip-flop and do whatever, and then we look like the assholes, right? That Reddit, what's that Reddit shit? Am I the asshole? I guess I'm the asshole. Because I still feel a way that you ruined the rules of the culture and then you got everybody riding with it. That was the worst part about it. You stepped on the rules of the culture, but then you had people changing the views and trying to ride with the shit. Instead of being like, okay, Cole, we can forgive you. No, it wasn't a we could forgive you. It wasn't that. It was that you niggas have to forgive him because he's the bigger man. And they try to make Dot and turn into a hater. They instead of all these motherfuckers is just subbing each other. Now the narrative is Dot is a hater, right? Now it can't be that we all rappers and we rap, we sub, we do this. No, it turned into Cole is the bigger man, Drake is the greatest, and K Dot been hating for years. The narrative turned into Dot is a hater, and that's why we got a lot of divisiveness in this shit. A lot of people, let me explain to you. A lot of people felt the way when J. Cole backed out of it. We was like, oh man, this is trash, this is corny, and a lot of these reactors, even the ones that he fucking his name and saying they're great, they had something to say too. But at the end of the day, that would have ended it. We would have been like, all right, fuck it, this nigga did it. What happened was when his fans start trying to tell us we don't know what we're talking about, we ruined it, and they try to change the narrative of hip hop in and of itself, that hip hop is immature. And now we got Jay-Z reinforcing that shit. And somehow what we've been doing for 50 years is now we got to clean it up for what? As if we invented stand-up, as if we're the problem. Jay-Z literally tried to tell us we're the problem. Kendrick was the problem. Jay-Z, I don't know if you remember, you put Kendrick on the stage with the exact same song that you're saying is the problem. You put him on the Super Bowl stage and gave it to many more people that never heard it. But somehow Kendrick and battle records and diss records are now a problem. And the reason you know why J. Cole and Jay-Z know they're wrong, because they both say, I hate to say this, man, I know how it sounds. They both said the same lame ass shit. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is, I have to say it. No, you fucking don't. You want to say it because there's a narrative going around. And I tell you, Ho's my guy, been defending Ho through all this shit. Epstein and Diddy, all this shit. Because when I see what it is what it is. When it don't make no sense, then it's dumb. I'm gonna say it. But when it's real, it's real. And right now, this is the saddest commentary I got to give you. But the three niggas that lost are got the loudest fan bases trying to get battling up out of here. And now culture is the problem because the culture won't let you fucking forget it. Niggas really think 2 years ago was long. It was us 2 years ago. Nigga, we still talking about Takeover. Was that 01? What's that, 25 years ago? We still can recite the lines from Takeover right now. We can still recite the lines of Ether right now. So I don't know how you feel something that just happened 2 years ago is supposed to be old news and we supposed to forget it. But at the end of the day, we watch Jay-Z come out and say, you guys were too mean to Drake, and I don't think I love it. And now here J. Cole is a few weeks later. If the culture don't matter, J. Cole, if the culture isn't real, because he goes on to say that a lot of people don't think for themselves. I hope I have that clip in here too. He said people don't think for themselves, they just go with the wave. And then he tried to say that the wave is the paid bots or whatever, and they're the ones that's controlling the narrative. It can't be that motherfuckers really just feel that this shit was lame that you did. It has to be something that's paid from on high, and they don't really have nothing to do with what's going on. So if the culture don't exist, answer me this question, Cole, and everybody else listening. If the culture don't exist, why it took rappers a minimum of a year to come out and say anything positive about Drake? I need that answer, because Drake wasn't getting no support. There was no one. When this shit was thick and them 6 months was there, and we was not like us was clearly running shit, and you couldn't get a rapper to open his mouth. But the culture ain't real. These niggas was deathly afraid, like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. They was deathly afraid to say something good about this nigga. Now that the smoke is cleared and the streaming numbers are back up, and now he's the #1 streamed artist in the world. Why is Jay-Z coming out when this guy's supposedly the #1 streamed artist in the world? What are you trying to do? Why is Cole hoping? I hope Iceman go crazy. Why? Ain't he the #1 streamed artist in the world? Why do you care? Why are you out here caping for this guy? Why are you out here trying to diminish the culture? You know why? Because none of that shit matters to the culture. All them streams is for old shit. That new shit is goony goo goo. So you could say, yeah, he's the #1 streamed artist on Spotify from June through July. You could say all that shit, but you know, this new shit is not popping whatsoever. It's the old shit that I keep telling you that UMG made sure it popped again because they did not want to lose the lawsuit. It's still allegedly, it's still in litigation. It's a fucking, supposedly, it's an appeal, right? For the lawsuit that was dismissed, right? Salute the Judge Jeanette Vargas. You have been officially added into the culture. We could subtract 4-5 niggas and let her ass in, right? Because Judge Jeanette Vargas understood hip-hop better than Drake. Drake paid lawyers God knows what kind of money to sit there for a goddamn year over a case that was going to get thrown out regardless, and he's still paying him. He's going to fucking spend all his stake money again because they're going to throw the shit out again. And you know what Judge Jeanette Vargas wrote in that goddamn the dial when she did the motion to dismiss or whatever the fuck she did? She wrote the rules of the culture. Ain't it funny how that shit come back around? The rules of the culture. It's a non-actionable quote. The quotes on Not Like Us are non-actionable. Any sane person will know that this shit is hyperbolic. And guess why? Because that's for the culture. So now J. Cole is on the Lost in Vegas show saying the culture don't exist. It don't exist. Gang, we got a lot to discuss. The people that's saying this, and there's a lot of people out there saying, good interview. No, this is terrible. This nigga been saying some really weird shit lately. And the culture, which he's desperately trying to get. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you right now. Drake, J. Cole, and Jay-Z, right? What really matters to these guys, all of them streams from South Africa and France and all over the world, and all of them streams from little girls in Idaho and little boys and wherever in Tampa, Florida, all that shit. But them people that's just pop or people that love these guys and that's their fans, they really don't care about that, gang. Let me just let you in on a secret. The streams sound good and it's good to buy boats and all kind of shit and take private flights. But what really, really matters to these guys, gang, in case you don't know, is legacy. It's legacy. And you know who writes the legacy on these rappers? You guessed it. You was right. What's homeboy name? Mako, OG Mako, whatever. Tell me what's homeboy name with the you guessed it. OC Mako, OG Mako, rest in peace. Guess who writes these legacies? And J. Cole has a little thing in here about classics. Guess who says what's classics? Guess who says who belong in top fives and top tens? You guessed it, the culture. So you can either diminish the culture or try to control it. Funny thing about the culture, you can't control it. You can't fool it. You can't change it. You can't make it into what you want to be, because there's a lot of places like barbershops and skating rinks and this, that, and the third that they already made up their mind because the culture has a way of doing business. These guys want the culture to love them. Okay? When all this shit's said and done, why do you think Iceman taking so long? He's trying to get something that you guys are going to say, that's a classic. Drake could have been put out something with he could have been put out a 20 fucking a song album with all hit records, all pop records. He would have killed all the noise with just doing that. He could have got whoever. I don't know, name them, whoever's hot, whatever pop star is that third. He could have got him on there, put the shit out, had a whole bunch of numbers run up, bang, 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 bang. Right? He could have got 4 or 5 little white girls, 4 or 5 black guys. He could have got this shit. Every rapper that he could have already did this. And it would have did 500,000 first week. Case closed. What we talking about? That's not what he wants, gang. I need you to understand what's happening right now. Do you know what's stopping that from? You know what's stopping him from putting out a bunch of pop records right now? You guessed it. The culture. Because when he put out that record and the culture gets a hold of the record and it's 15 pop records, Afro beats, and this, that, and the third, his fans going to be ecstatic, but the culture going to be like, get this shit the fuck up out of here. That same culture that don't exist. And we loud as shit online, gang. That culture that J. Cole seemed to forgot is out there. He wants to rewrite the narrative and paint a different pretty little picture that the culture ain't nothing but bots. It don't exist. So now they got to rewrite the culture the same way they did woke. Now it got to be a dirty word. I'm gonna get to this interview, but I just wanted to set the tone. And the thing about this is Cole been saying, I said, you know what? Let me Google. Because he been saying so much ridiculous shit lately. Let me remind my fucking self of all the nonsense Cole been talking over the last couple of weeks. This was the worst interview run. I'm just gonna be honest. Only people could possibly like this is motherfuckers that's just a completely tapped out, completely tapped out of the culture, gang. If you're a huge ass J. Cole fan, this is amazing. But for some reason, I can write any kind of post about Jay-Z. About J. Cole fucking up these interviews. Shit goes through the roof. Anything. So somehow, some way, there's a lot of people that agree with me, but somehow J. Cole is trying to tell us the culture don't exist. Let me ask you a real question, Cole. Why is there not a whole bunch of pro Drake channels? Because he goes on a tirade about the YouTubers that are blowing up from misinformation and rhetoric about why do people want to watch that, Cole? Why so many? Why have there been hundreds of channels that have blown up since the battle happened? And they clamoring for more information about the battle, but not pro Drake shit. I see the guys start pro Drake channels, gang. They do awful. They do terrible. I'm just gonna be honest. There's some of the worst channels online. They get no traction. People do not subscribe. Why? If there's no culture, why isn't that shit blown up? Ain't he the biggest artist in the world? Ain't he the #1 streamed artist? Well, that shit could be fake by bots if we talking. But why? So why can't somebody in my comments right now say fuck this nigga Challz and just start typing on this shit? Hey, open up a YouTube channel and start doing mad pro Drake content. Three pro Drake fucking things a day. Because the culture don't want to see that shit. That's why. The culture really exists, and we move things. And the culture started to move to YouTube, and everybody that was telling this shit like it is, we're getting a good fan base, such as myself, my G. That same fucking culture that you're trying to erase right now by saying whatever, and I'm going to get to that. But if there's no culture, why wasn't people defending Drake back then? None of the artists that's supposed to be his bands. Why was everything that Kendrick did was looked at as fucking from heaven sent? Even you, right? Why was that heaven sent? Because the culture stood on one side. Why do and this is the best question. This is the best question for the people in the back, right? That still saying fuck the culture shit. The shit don't exist. One of the biggest complaints, I tell you, I love my brother-in-law, but one of his biggest complaints is that you guys weren't fair to Drake. Whatever he did, you guys said it was wrong. If he did this, you said that was wrong. If he did that, you said it wasn't fair. They started using words like fair. Words like fair. They were using fair in regards to the #1 rapper in the world. Allegedly, the #1 rapper on earth. They start using words like, why is this not fair? They still make complaints that Family Matters was the better record and you guys just aren't listening right because you're not being fair. Why you think that they weren't fair? Why you think he brought out? So let's start there. He brought out, was it push-ups first? He did that. He did that. He leaked it. People thought it was AI. When it got a good response, he claimed it. Cleaned it up, shined it up, mixed it up. All of a sudden, it's called push-ups and it's on DSPs. Then that wasn't enough. He came back with Tailor Made. Used Tupac voice. Used Snoop's voice. Snoop retweeted it allegedly, right? The culture was like, hell fucking no. His fans they going to Google in the comments going crazy, doing dolphin flips. But the culture was like, get this shit out of here and take Tupac name out your fucking mouth. Kendrick literally dropped Euphoria, and most of the culture said he won. with Euphoria. I'm just gonna be fucking honest. I was there. I wasn't saying, I said, no, we need more work. It's gonna be a back and forth. So let's see what happens. Then we got Family Matters. We got Meet the Grams. We got 616 in LA. And then we got a complete cave back out of the battle with the Hard Part 6 talking about you took this to you did too much. I'm out. I would have liked it, but you did too much. You finally made a record I could dance to. And I'm out. Then he hung up he got off offline and text his lawyer. Is there something we can do about this? I'm sick of this record. Can we get Lucian Grange too? Because his ass pissed me off last week at that card game. So out of nowhere, he's suing. Now, why do you think he did everything he could to win that battle? Then he went and sued because he lost it over a record that didn't even need to be done because people had already said he had lost before Not Like Us had dropped. Why do you think the people were saying that he lost badly? It's like 80-20. It's the culture. And I'm gonna tell J. Cole some shit he might not know. The culture didn't like Drake for a long time. This ain't fucking news, my G. Ever since Drake ain't had no damn mustache and was still looking like a little ass kid, the culture was side-eyeing him. He had to get a lot of people to co-sign him before people start saying, okay, we'll give him a shot. He came in on some really cool shit. He was humble. I like to call him P. Code Aubrey. I liked it. I liked it. I was like, oh, this young nigga from Canada, let's see what he do. Right? He used to come here and go to the college campuses and this, that, and the third. When he was just coming up. We thought he was humble. We thought he respected the craft. And we thought he was going to be like a Fonte type of MC that kind of did his thing, but he was a hip hop head. We learned pretty quickly once he signed that ink on that Cash Money, right? And Lil Wayne tried to tell him, just be yourself. Don't be me. Be you. But we started to see the shift, and we started to see a lot of people start to take him this way, that way, and the third. And we started to be like, hold up, P. Code Aubrey, look, he a little bit different. This nigga swag different. This ain't the nigga we used to see at them shows back in the day. And this nigga ain't Fonte no more. We don't know what's going on. And it kind of changed. We saw a lot of we saw the progression get to be a little bit of you got to be confident. You got to be borderline arrogant, but it got a little wonky. And a lot of us start being like, hold up, ain't this the same little nigga from Canada? We know this nigga ain't no mob. What's going on, gang? So a lot of the culture was checking out of it, the rhetoric, but he didn't need you no more. Because they started aiming for big records, pop records. Every record had to be bigger than the last record. Every record had to sell more units than the last record. Lucian Graves told you, I have a very vested interest in Drake's catalog. So no, Your Honor, I would not be trying to destroy Drake in one crazy summer over a negotiation, which makes no sense. I got more money in him than the damn negotiations y'all keep trying to say I'm trying to mess up. I don't know if you guys know how this works, but this guy is not going to mess up the cash cow. So no, there was no conspiracy to ruin him, but he had to make that because all of this is over the battle, gang. Let me take it a step further. Drake's the whole lawsuit If UMG, let's talk about the first iteration of the lawsuit. He claimed they're using bots, this, that, and the third. That whole lawsuit could have made without putting Kendrick's name in there anywhere. If they're trying to ruin your negotiations and they're doing skeevy, slimy shit, all this stuff that you said, and iHeartRadio and Spotify, you named all this stuff that they were doing that was so shaky, which he had to take all out of the lawsuit because he couldn't prove it. But let's imagine if all of that, if you had all that information, you could have sued UMG for, like, they tried to make him the hero. Oh, he's doing this for the independent. He's doing it for the little man. It's the little people. He's bringing down the corporate. You guys are dumb because you don't understand. This is a fight for the little guys. Remember that narrative? He was exposing UMG. I do know he took all that shit out of the lawsuit and became about defamation. Couldn't even prove that. So the simple fact of the matter is we're at a point now where all of these guys are doing a lot of stuff to correct the wrongs of them losing or looking embarrassed because the culture is still laughing at them. Right? A lot of people don't understand the culture got power. This is why LaRussell shut down his Instagram and all this shit, because the culture is coming at him. Even you, right? The culture is coming at him because they're like, no, we got certain things we stand on in here, and you're not going to play with God. You're not going to play with the devil, and you damn still ain't going to play with Epstein. This is why people are feeling away about that. And most of these people that feel away are from the culture. The culture that J. Cole is somehow now trying to erase so he can get back in this thing and be the #1 rapper when he claims he don't even believe he's #1 rapper. He don't even believe he's the best. Ask me, am I the best? J. Cole, are you the best? Shit, it's a guy named Black Thought out here. Nigga, just say yes or fucking no, nigga. Please? Please don't, please. We don't got to be treated like idiots. What rapper gonna not say he's the best? Just say your shit and move on. Stop trying to fucking, like, I don't understand. So let me read this, man, because these interviews, this run has been crazy. So I said Google. There's so many things I can't even keep up. I've been doing videos, but he's doing so much Google shit, I can't keep up with it all. So I said Google. What's going on with the J. Cole recent gaffes and fumbles in these interviews? So the Google said, based on J. Cole's recent interviews in March of 2026, particularly with Camron and Talk with Flea, and on the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast, here are the most notable and controversial takes surrounding the rapper. His regret over the Kendrick Lamar diss in 7 Minute Drill. I don't know a rapper who regrets defending himself. According to J. Cole fans, he was defending himself. Why do you regret doing that? Well, let me read it. He said that the 7 Minute Drill was a misstep, that he felt terrible and he went against his character. He revealed he apologized because the song felt like it was giving life to negative storylines and dividing the hip-hop community. Nigga, you wrote every single negative storyline in the shit. He make it like them shits popped up out of nowhere. You wrote that shit. I told you the record is heinous. I'm going to read them fucking lyrics before I leave. It's the most heinous shit a rapper has ever said about another rapper. I'm just going to be honest. He said some weird, I know people forget how crazy 7 Minute Drill is, but I'm going to remind you. Because when I read it last week, it was like, yo, this nigga really said this shit. But that's his friend. And he goes, oh, you niggas believe that? He said this on camera. I don't know if y'all watched the Camron interview. He said, yo, no, wait. What if Dot believes? Yo, there's no way Dot believes I meant this shit. This is what Cole said. There's no way K-Dot believes I meant this shit. Nigga, you wrote it and put it out on DSPs. And now your friend is supposed to believe you didn't mean a word of it? Sound like some villain shit. Let me continue. He didn't want to divide the hip-hop community. I don't know. You didn't know that it was going to divide the hip-hop community when you made a whole rap dissing this nigga's catalog? Let me continue. He admitted that the best rapper claims aren't always genuine. Cole admitted that his bravado-filled raps claiming to be the best are not always genuine. How do you say that with a straight face, gang? I've been calling this nigga Slim Jesus for a week. This nigga is Slim Jesus. From Vlad TV, the little white boy that made all them drill records. Then he came out one day and said, yeah, I don't do anything. I don't do any of this drill shit. It just sounds good. J. Cole Slim Jesus right now. Let me continue. Cole admitted that his bravado-filled raps claiming to be the best are not always genuine, stating, quote, on any given day, artists like Black Thought, Kendrick Lamar, Lupe Fiasco, and Drake can outshine me. Nigga, that was not the question. That was not the question, my G. He said, are you the best rapper in the world? The answer is yes. Any rapper that says no is suspect. Because for one, you've been saying you were. And for two, you're supposed to say you were. And for three, your fans been saying you were for 10 fucking years. But let me continue. His neutrality in the Drake-Kendrick beef. That's another take that some of us felt a little ways about. He argued that he was disgusted by how the rap world forced fans to pick sides. This nigga cannot be serious, gang. In the Drake-Kendrick beef. So what did you think was going to happen when the beef started? When these two guys started battling, no one was going to pick sides. They were just going to be like, yeah, bro, they've been picking sides in rap beef since fucking, what's my guy? The fuck Compton. It was motherfuckers that rolled with Dr. Dre and Compton and motherfuckers that rolled with Tim Dog. When Tim Dog made Fuck Compton, which was showing basically New York's hate, just to be honest, New York was hating on the West Coast. Tim Dog was the only one to say it. And back then, people took sides. They take sides in the culture. It is what it is. I don't care how sweet you sound when you're trying to diss another guy. Somebody going to take your side or his. It is what it is. So now it says that he was disgusted about how the rap world forced fans to pick sides in the Kendrick Drake beef. The rap world forced them. No, they just chose sides, my G. They had already chose sides. Newsflash, nigga. They already had chose sides before the battle happened. It wasn't nobody on the fence like this. Let me hear what they say. It's dumb nigga logic, eh? Even if it was a neutral nigga, he's sitting there like, let me hear what they say. But he already has his mind made up who's going to win. There's no way you win to that battle not thinking one or the other. But let me continue. He compared it to partisan politics. He claimed he chose to step away because he didn't want to lose a bro over a battle, saying, quote, I wouldn't have lost a battle. I would have lost a bro. All for what? Some people say that J. Cole was saying he would have won that battle. I think that J. Cole says so much shit. He means 10 different things in every kind of quote he says. And won't stand on none of them if you press him. None of them. I've never seen a nigga with more excuses not to stand on something in my entire life. So I can't even tell you what Cole means, because if you sit him down, he gonna sit there and talk for 5-10 minutes and spin the shit so many ways, your head gonna be spinning around like a top by the time he's done. And you're gonna be like Camron, right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. I was calling Camron Sling Blade. Mm-hmm. By the time this nigga get to spinning and dipping and jumping and flipping and doing all kind of nonsense. End of the day, Cole throws these crazy disses and then calls you his bro. I don't got not one friend on earth that I can come out and hit him with the 7-minute drill and still expect him to take my calls. I'm just going to be honest. You didn't even let him get a get back. You delete the shit 2 days later at the Dreamville Fest. You apologize 2 days later. And guys, I ain't even get to the video yet. Let me finish what he did. The more things that he said. Oh, wait, there's more, my G. Right? On this infamous run, right? I done had an infamous run. Yeah, this run is infamous, all right, for being awful. Then he confirmed the physical fight with Diddy. Cole confirmed the long-standing rumor that he and Diddy had a physical fight, an altercation, but he didn't want to go into it. Hold on, where's this thing at? I'm trying to get this chat. Salute to the super chats, man. But he didn't want to go into it because he didn't want to kick a man while he was down. Gang. I don't know if y'all saw that video, Diddy kicking Cassie while she was down. I don't know if y'all saw that. Cole wants to defend Diddy. You physically had to put hands on Diddy, but you want to defend him. Or try to lessen any of his embarrassment. It's weirdo behavior, gang. I'm just going to be honest. Why even confirm the fight at all? If you don't want to say, just say, I don't really want to speak on that. But you're going to confirm the fight, but then you're going to tell, was it Camron? Or you got some things wrong? Whoever it was, yeah, he got some shit wrong, da-da-da. But I'm not going to tell you what's wrong, but I just want to let y'all know it wasn't wrong. I mean, it wasn't like that. Because the narrative was it was over for Kendrick. It was some shit about Kendrick or some shit, if I'm not mistaken. End of the day, somehow, some way, Cole now don't want to really kick Diddy while he's down. So let me get this straight. The culture don't exist and Diddy should be protected. Let me continue. He admitted to misrepresenting himself. He told Camron that he often misrepresents himself in his music to fit a certain narrative of braggadocious rap, which contributed to his decision to step away from the Big Three conflict. He also I don't know if you paid attention to his explanation of the lawsuit with Camron. He really was like, Cam, this lawsuit got misinformation in it. You're basically lying. He told Camron literally to his face, yeah, the stuff in this lawsuit is not right. Well, Camron put the stuff in the lawsuit. And Camron is sling blade. You right. It's wrong. I messed up. I'm lying. Weirdo shit, gang. But they fall to pieces when this dude J. Cole coming in because he knows how to manipulate the conversation. The controversy and reactions. The reactions to these interviews were divided. Some fans appreciated the honesty and maturity, while others criticized him for ducking the smoke and not standing by his competitive lyrics, with some arguing his 7-minute drill apology was cringe and weakened his status as the GOAT contender. Ain't no contender for no GOAT. Ain't no status of no fucking GOAT. That's why he wants to end this culture talk. Because he wants to still be the GOAT, even though he backed out of a battle. You got to understand what's going on. Like I said earlier, J. Cole and Jay-Z and Drake all are worrying about their legacy now. And the only thing stopping their legacy is the narrative. And guess who controls the narrative in hip-hop? OG Mako said it. You right. The culture. The invisible culture that J. Cole now wants you to believe has zero power. I'm bugging out. Cole wants us to realize or believe that somehow he's still in the conversation for GOAT. Cole wants us to forget everything that's happened, everything that was said, everything that was done, and somehow, some way, put him back in that top 5 conversation. And the only thing stopping him is the narrative of the culture. He even went on a tirade against narratives of all things, gang. In this interview, he goes on a tirade against narratives, gang. I can't make this stuff up. It's like a politician trying to get back in office. And everything that made him goofy, he gotta object to it. And that's what he's doing. And that's why he's saying these things. You know what? Fuck this. We doing this. I'm gonna read 7-minute drill before we get to that video. You niggas gotta go to work and check out. Thank you for sticking around. But we doing this. We doing this. Because it don't hit right unless you understand this is bro that he wrote this about. I need to understand what's going on. We doing this. This is happening, gang. I need you to understand that this is the bro that J. Cole keeps. This is the interview. This is what the interviews won't do. They won't say, well, let me just ask you a question. Why did you write 7-minute drill? Now, in that other interview with Camron, he gave a lot of nonsense about being peer pressured and this, that, and the third. But let me read these lyrics so you can see what he thought was right about his bro. All right. This is the 7-minute drill by T-, Conductor Williams, and 2 more. Is off the mic, delete later. 7-minute drill serves as an anticipated response to K. Dot's disses on Like That, which were aimed at Cole and Drake, establishing the track as a warning shot. All right, let's get into it. The intro. Yeah, turn it up. Yeah, turn the vocals up. Let's get it, Cole. Light work, like it's PWC. It's a cold world. Keep that heat under your seat. I got a phone call. They say that somebody dissing. You want some attention, but it come with extensions. My dog like say the word. He on bullshit. He itching. Done putting so much work in these streets. He got a pension. I told him chill out. How I look having henchmen. If shots get the popping, I'm the one that do the clenching. Cole's talking crazy. He talking about extensions, shots getting popped, henchmen's. And then the niggas dissing. Okay, let me keep it. That ain't even the verse. That's the chorus. That's the chorus. So let's get the verse going. I came up in the Ville, so I'm good when it's tension. He's still doing shows, but fell off like the Simpsons. Your first shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Your third shit was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behind, and I just now hit mine. Now I'm front of the line with the comfortable lead. How ironic. Soon as I got it, he wants something with me. That right there is saying that Kendrick is jealous. He's ahead of Kendrick, and Kendrick is jealous of him. This is the 7-minute drill that he said he wrote in 7 minutes. All right. We got this drill we do, me and my producer. He make the beat in 7 minutes, and then I write the rap in 7 minutes. So J. Cole allegedly wrote this, according to him, in 7 minutes. Let me continue. We doing this, gang. We got, listen, I got time. Well, he caught me at the perfect time. Jump up and see. Boy, I got here off bars, not no controversy. Funny thing about it, bitch. I didn't add the bitch in there just as J. Cole. Funny thing about it, bitch. I don't even want the prestige. Fuck the Grammys, because them crackers ain't never done nothing for me, ho. Gang, I'm not ad-libbing. I'm not ad-libbing this shit. This is his bro that 2 days later he apologized to. But this is the rhymes that J. Cole wrote. Funny thing about it, bitch, I don't even want the prestige. Fuck the Grammys, because them crackers ain't never done nothing for me, ho. Slugs took my nigga's soul. Drugs took another one. The rap beef ain't realer than the shit I seen in Cumberland. He averaging one hard verse like every 30 months or something. If he wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing him. Gang. Let me continue. This is his bro. This is his bro. And he wanted K. Dot to take this like it was just sparring. He used some really soft words, really soft lingo in these interviews. Now it's just a little tap, and he was going to tap me back. He said in the interview, I thought I was just going to tap him. He'd tap me back, and then when I get to the record, we'll fuck him up. This is what he said, gang. He said this 2 days ago. But he wants us to believe he grew. Right? I need y'all to follow me, gang. He wants us to believe he grew up. His fans wants us to believe he grew up and he was the mature one and the bigger man. But he just said on the other interview that 2 days later we'll fuck us. He said, I'm gonna tap him. He gonna hit me back with a line or two. And then on the record, we'll fuck him up. Because he's supposed to drop the fall off. The fall off 8 weeks later. And this is all according to Cole. Stop me when I'm lying, J. Cole fans, but here we go. So let me continue with the soft ass record about his buddy. He's like, oh, it's just a love tap, right? Okay, let me continue. This is his bro that he wants still have access to. If he wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing him. Lord, don't make me have to smoke this nigga because I fuck with him. This isn't, I didn't write this shit, gang. But put over this mic, I will humble him. I'm Nino with this thing. This that new Jack City meme. Yeah, I'm aiming at G Money crying tears before I bust him. So he was about to kill Kendrick if Kendrick make any moves out of line. Gang, I can't make this shit up. I'm not going to read the chorus because he has a chorus, right? This record was supposed to be 7 minutes and it was just set up, but he got the chorus. He got a chorus in here. But he wants us to believe it was just some short shit I threw out there and I took it back. Verse 2, gang. It gets worse. I got mixed feelings about these fucking rap niggas. It's over for that cap. We official cap pillars. 2-6. We don't at niggas. We get at niggas. Shoot a nigga lights out. Yeah, my dog stat fillers. This is the monk with the walking stick, walking the land, trying to find peace. He's walking around, doing podcasts and telling everybody it's not what you think. I didn't mean it that way. But these are the lyrics that he wrote. Stat stuffers, triple double, get your ass black duffled, body bag, body bag, body bag. Cold world, your instructor for Pilates class. Get a nigga, he said, get a nigga stretched if I feel the disrespect. Your arms might be too short to box with the God who live his life without the pressures of a constant facade. I pray for peace, but if a nigga sees these positive vibes, a Falcon 9 inside my pocket, bitch, this rocket gonna fly. Now it's popping outside like the top of July. My text flooded with the hunger for a toxic reply. I'm hesitant. I love my brother, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm powered up for real. That shit would start to feel I'm not powered. I'm powered up for real. That shit would feel like swatting a fly. So Kendrick is the equivalent of swatting a fly. J. Cole is that big. 4 albums in 12 years, nigga, I can divide. Shit, if this what you want, I'm indulging in violence. Put pictures in my home, aim the chrome at your eyelids, fly pebbles at your dome. We the Stone Temple pilots. This is merely a warning shot to back niggas down. Back in the town where they whipping, working traffic in pounds. My jack jumping about a rapper, making blasphemous sounds, switching sides like a tassel on the cap and the gown. I'm fully loaded, nigga. I can drop 2 classics right now. Ha, let me chill out, man. Conductor. The fall off on the way, nigga. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. I'm the problem, gang. This ain't one of the podcasts he's going to name as one of his favorites. And I'm okay with that. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. You heard those lyrics, gang. Not only do that sound like you really was going off on a nigga, it sounds like you don't like the nigga. Falcon 9s and all these guns. His catalog, and you gonna swat him like a fly. And then 2 days later, you on Dream Dreamville Fest telling everybody put a hand in the air for Kendrick Lamar. But then you wonder why he blocked you. Cole said in that interview, he ain't talked to them niggas. He said, first of all, Cole said in the interview that he really only talked to them once a year anyway, even before this battle. He said, I talk to them guys once a year, twice, tops, in a good year. I don't know how bros you were if you talking to a nigga once a year. I bet you that Jay-Z Kendrick group chat got way more shit going on than that. And Cole wants us to believe that he's he wanted peace. Cole wanted us to believe that he's this enlightened man. That sounds like a fucking gangster. That sounds like a thug to me in that verse. I don't want no problem with that guy. He coming in your house, putting the guns to your eyelids. I don't want no problem with that guy. No smoke. Some Muppet Show shit, gang. But guess who didn't like that record? The Culture. Guess who was on Twitter immediately, if not sooner, saying, nah, Cole, this ain't it, my G. I hope you got something else. And this one, I still was under the spell because I was trying to defend the nigga. I was like, man, let him live, man. He gonna bring something else, da. I was saying this, that, and the third, trying to give this nigga some grace. Because I hadn't seen him for what he is yet. I've been saying for years, I got another review channel. I reviewed J. Cole's albums. I've been saying for years, I highly respect J. Cole's skill. And we need him in hip hop. I've been saying that for years, but I can't get with his music. He makes some good records here and there, but culturally, I'm not reaching for J. Cole's music. And I never said it as disrespect. I said it when I gave his record, when I was doing, I got another channel that I review music. Gave the nigga album, I think it was, what's the joint? I reviewed 2 albums on it, I believe. KOD, and it's something after KOD if I'm not cracking it up. And I said the album, I said it was an A++, some shit like that. But I said it's a caveat with that because I know what good hip hop supposed to sound like. But for some reason, I just can't return to J. Cole's music. Not a diss. I said he made good record, but it just doesn't make me want to play it again. There had to be something culturally in my spirit telling me this shit's not real. Now that I'm older and wiser, I realize something wasn't real about it and my spirit knew it. And what is J. Cole doing right now? Openly admitting that it ain't real. The off season. Salute the Dim Jam. And we tried, gang. We tried to give this guy some bail. We tried to give this guy some bail for years. Now, when and I used to be like a Big Hair saying that he makes snooze raps. I openly, I'll be the first to tell. I was on Twitter. That used to make me upset. I'd be like, stop saying that man got snooze. He's making sleepy raps. Used to call a nigga Sleepy Cole. And I used to, I used to be one of the dudes trying to defend this guy because I knew I felt like he was a real hip hop part of the culture. I was like, this guy's a backpacker. He makes his own beats. He's making them on the beat machine. He's making his own raps. That's a triple threat, right? You're producing, you're writing, You perform this shit yourself. You're not having ghostwriters. I was like, bro, really knows what he's doing as far as culturally. So I'm not gonna let y'all talk crazy about it, even though I know that some of this, I get what you're saying, but no, I'm not gonna let y'all. A dude that's really with this culture, he just like me with the backpack and he chopping up samples and this, that, and the third. I was one of the people trying to defend him, even though I sat there and told you that I didn't listen to his music like that. Because the culture is such it's a community game. And when one of us could break through and go platinum with using the culture for what it is, the right way, no features, right? I said, you know what? I'm gonna show this guy respect, even when other people are not. That's when stand-em was. This was years ago, gang. This was before the battle. They were saying Sleepy Cole. They was fucking heinous to this guy. I don't know if you guys remember. Sam's in the building. I don't know if you guys remember how much hate this guy used to get. This guy would do 350 the first week and get 350,000 hate tweets. But they want us to believe that it's just started with this battle. They all get hate tweets, gang. That's why I don't know what the fuck Jay-Z's talking about. Like it just started with the battle. Cosmo said it right. They get rich and then we all owe them something. These are rich nigga problems, rich rapper problems, right? Rich nigga, broke phone, right? This is rich nigga problems. But like I was saying earlier, they want their legacy. J. Cole wrote 7 Minute Drill for his legacy. Huh? What'd you say, Charles? He wants his legacy to be unchallenged, unmatched, gave it to anybody. That's what he wants his legacy to be, right? How did he say on that record back in the day? It's all fucked up now, right? On that Biggie record, when Biggie passed, it's all fucked up now. Now Cole is all fucked up now. And the simple fact of the matter is, we can see it. We can see it. It's a problem now. And this culture talk is a bigger problem. And the thing with this is, we see why they want to eliminate this word. I'm just adding a couple mods. Don't you worry about what I'm doing. We ain't going nowhere. It is what it is. And on that note, I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna get into this video because the only reason J. Cole would say the culture doesn't exist is because their legacy is in danger. You know who decides the classics? The culture. You know who says who's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? The culture. Now we don't always agree on the top 5, top 20, like right. Like I always say, I don't give you top 10. I'm gonna give you top 12 because I need them 2 slots. I don't do top 10 rappers no more. I do top 12. But if I say something crazy, the culture gonna come down on me with a hammer. And usually you're usually in the same vein of what's going to be looked at as top rappers, this, that, and the third in the culture. End of the day, right? We're going to have this conversation and talk about this crazy interview, which is another wacky one, right? Another wacky one. And he made another mistake. I got it lined up right here. And like I said, salute to the Lost in Vegas guys. I don't know these guys from a hole in the wall, but they secured their dream interview. And Cole was really enamored with these guys. He knows them. I'm going to play the intro because when it first starts, Cole contradicts himself in the very beginning, like not standing on something still. Still not standing on something. So I thought it was very interesting to display how the interview even starts. All right. Like I said, it's no disrespect to these guys. They're doing their job. They didn't do anything wrong. They got the interview of a lifetime and they milking it. So that's perfect for them. But let's play this.
And make sure you check out the link. And all right, man. So y'all see what it is, man. We see what it is, and we trying to do big things out here, man. Go ahead, George. And introduce your cousin, man.
Man, as y'all saw with the title of the video, man. We said we had a little announcement, and you see the aesthetics, man. Beautiful, right?
Man.
You see that? All that good. And we wanted to introduce, my cousin. He has been on me for like 4 or 5 years. He wanted to be a part of the podcast / reaction / whatever we had in mind. Every time we breaking down bars, he wants to get involved in the process. So for years, he's been on us. So I was like, you know what? Here's your chance, man. You know what I mean? We looking to expand things with Lost in Vegas, man. Here's your chance, man. So I want to introduce y'all to my cousin who's been rocking with us forever, who wants to be a part of the team. Introduce yourself, sir.
Man, it's about fucking time y'all let me come on the show. How many times I gotta beg and ask y'all to let me get on the fucking show?
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect. It's y'all thing. Y'all been building it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I appreciate you finally let me come shine. For a second, I thought you ain't want me to shine. You know what I mean? But I know big cousin, you know what I mean, want little cousin to shine too. So now we finally see that, you know what I mean? I appreciate you for
You know what I'm saying? We kept them in the doghouse for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, they know my name is Jermaine. I'm little cuz, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For years, I've been asking to get on the show. And
Get out of here,
let's drink it in.
Man.
Let's drink it in. Drink it in. Yeah, we had y'all's food with the title.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't know what was coming.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So just drink that in. You know what I'm saying? So, by the way, don't get used to the aesthetics. We wanted to make something special for Cole. But guess what? Cole is such a real one. That the first thing that Cole said, because we rented out the studio because we wanted to make it, dope and have room and make everything comfortable. The first thing Cole said was, nah, man, come on, man. I need the green screen, man.
And that's no cap, right?
Yeah, no lie. Like even now, as I'm sitting here, of course, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here with y'all.
Thank you, man.
Let me say that. Like, of course, he's joking about the cousin thing and hitting him. But what is true is, for years I've been seeing y'all and watching y'all. We can get into the story of that later, but y'all are, I fuck with the reaction space in general. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that I fuck with, but y'all in particular are some of the first ones I saw, and it's like, I fuck with what y'all doing, what y'all bring to the table. So let me one, say that. And then two, say, y'all know, because I've told y'all,
Let me stop right there. Now, J. Cole just told us he had to get off YouTube because it was too messy. And they was coming at me on Twitter saying, he talking about you. You one of the ones he talking about. So how you know about these two guys and what their content is and what they do on here? Which is whatever, right? Not a big deal. But I just want to point that out, right? I just want to point that out. That Cole had literally just told us in the very last interview that he had to get off of YouTube and he don't really be watching this kind of stuff.
To feel a little robbed. Like, no, I need the black background. You know what I mean? I need the straight black background because the people, your audience can tell you if they agree with me.
Right.
But I was just explaining to them how I think the black background, of course, I understand we couldn't do it for this because, it's more space. It's just two of y'all in that normal setup. But to us, the people that watch y'all channel, I'm sure they watch it way more than me. But I think the black background is iconic. You know what I mean? And it speaks to what I see about y'all specific channel where it's like, yo, it's not about nothing but the music. There's no extra shit in the background. And I fuck with, if people got shit in the background, that's cool too.
Right.
But y'all think it's so unique to me because it's like, it represents y'all channel and how it has been since I first seen y'all, where it's like, yo, this shit is just about the music. It's just about this. It's no extra shit. It's no motherfucking gimmicks and tricks. Or the titles of the videos ain't super like clickbaity. You know what I mean? Clickbaity. It's like so. No disrespect to anybody doing that because everybody got their lane.
Yes.
But
all right, I just wanted to point that part out because he literally couldn't even stand on that. He's like, you guys don't do no clickbait thumbnails. It's strictly about the music. It's not a lot of extra shit in the background. But then he keeps saying, no disrespect to somebody else who does that. You literally saying that that shit is corny. And these guys don't do all that. But instead of just saying that and leaving it, it gotta be, don't disrespect the people who do that, but you guys are the real ones because you don't. I'm like, Cole, just state your case, bro. You do not have to please every single person out here. Everybody not gonna like you. This is where we get into issues. Just stand on it. Just stand on it, bro. You don't gotta make caveats and kind of say something, but then dial it back, gang. It's already what it is, bro. People have decided. People have decided. You don't gotta try to be in the middle all the time and do this dance. Now I'm gonna get to the real meat and the bones. Let me move down here to this conversation about the culture, which is why we really here.
Culture, this word culture. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just become
A buzzword.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
an empty
oh, the
buzzword.
culture this, the culture
Yeah.
that. I'm like, you know the swag and all that, all of the slang, the dances, these are things that we consider culture coming up.
Yes.
That comes from those dudes.
Yes, it does.
The young, I mean, you know, I don't want to name names. But, you know, it comes from
Yeah.
a lot of these young guys. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That I think the elitists tend to make fun of.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but they're the lit ones.
Yeah.
They're the ones that's creating all of this, whatever that is. The world is now
Yes, bro.
being infected.
Yep.
with. So
Yep.
the swag comes from those guys. So when you
Agreed.
say everybody has something to offer, I look at that. I look at what Future brought in the game. I'm like, Future, one of the coolest cats ever.
Yeah.
He one of the
Uh-huh.
flyest dudes ever. And everybody took something from Future. From
Facts.
Future.
Yep.
So I just think this whole culture thing, it comes from this sort of, you know, I don't want to say subset or niche online sort of presence on hip hop, but I just think that word is such a broad and, you know what I mean? It's such a, well, they've minimalized.
It's an empty word now.
Yeah, it
It
is.
used to mean something.
Yep,
Now
right.
it's just a buzzword that don't mean nothing. And
Right.
actually, what y'all are speaking about is bought and paid by paid campaigns or
man,
or
don't even-
motherfucking bots or
we gonna have to cut something out. on
Yeah,
this
I'm
nigga.
telling you.
nah, for sure. Or,
All the shit that Drake used, paid campaigns and bots. We've already seen that the album last year, the what was that shit? Some Sexy Songs for You. We've already seen that they were running TikTok campaigns to make that album pop. Whole lot of shit that's going on that you're naming was done by that side. But you want to say that that's what we did with the culture. The culture is bought and paid for. So now you're going to diminish what the people think and how the people feel. So who are these interviews for then? Like, if you're not trying to reach out to people that's claiming that they're part of the culture, then who are these interviews for? Who are you trying to convince with these interviews? End of the day, the culture is what I told you at the beginning. Do I got to read it again? Let's figure this out. What the culture is. The customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. Now, that's describing us rap fans, us hip hop heads. That's who we are. We're the ones that decide what's cool, what's not. But now Cole wants to say it's bought and paid for because the culture has, in essence, turned on him. So now to rationalize that, he got to say, oh, that's bought and paid for. It means nothing. It's a buzzword. So now people like me, when I get on Twitter screaming about the culture, I ignore him because he don't know what he's talking about. He's bought and paid for. Well, I'm not bought and paid for. I believe everything I'm saying. And when he gets on here, start talking about how reactors are just reacting to stuff because to please their fan base, that's you only get a fan base because there's things that you say. Okay? You get a fan base because people start to trust your word and they start to believe you. So it's not like I'm out here saying shit to my fan base or whatever. I was saying this shit before people started following me. So I'm not saying it for them. This is what I say and people agree. And like I said earlier, why aren't there 100 Drake pages out there? I can count on one hand how many successful pro Drake pages there are. And that's because the culture don't want to see that shit. Just going to be honest with you. So what are we doing? Are we going to keep making excuses or try to make like the culture just a buzzword from the higher ups who want to manipulate people? Let me continue.
or just the algorithm.
Yes.
Even if it's not
Yep.
paid, it's like, yo, the algorithm is, so it's like the word culture is like, yo, it hurts me to see,
Yeah.
but it's like, yo, the second,
right there. It hurts me to say it. Jay-Z did the same thing. It hurts me to say it. I know it sounds crazy. Why does it hurt you to say it? So if the culture was ever real because it hurts you to say it, then why is it not real now? Why is the culture not real now? Why is the culture just a buzzword now? Why does it not exist now? If what you're saying is true, it shouldn't hurt you at all. If you're saying facts, why do facts hurt you? Because the culture really is a thing and it really exists. But you're trying to say it doesn't. That's what's hurting you. And you know we're listening and we're saying this nigga sounds crazy.
You know, slang used to mean something. Like, yo, like when we said some shit in our area, like I really feel like in Fayetteville, we was it ain't nothing ill to claim, but we was like the first niggas in the world. Like now it's like talking to we was doing this way back in the days, like, and people thought it was so weird, and now I see people doing it. And it was like, if I'm talking to my homeboy, I don't do this anymore, but we was kids. Like my homeboy, bitch. That was our thing. Like, bitch, you crazy as hell. Boom, bitch. Now that shit. When I went to college, I had to damn near scrap a few times. And niggas like, whoa. Another thing is like in Fayetteville,
New York too. New York is a little
exactly.
Like, hey, yo,
yeah, even in Carolina, in certain cities, niggas like, what the fuck you say? I'm like, oh, my fault, bro. We from Fayetteville. Like, we just talk like that. Boom, boom. Right. Or like, what's good, Bo? Like, it's certain words that were just ours, right?
Right.
And it's certain words that was just belonging in New York. Days, it's certain make popular, right? Because it just started. It's T, it's this, it's clock it, it's motherfucker, whatever it is. But my point is, like, because of culture, really just the internet.
Right
now, a word don't make it out of black women's lips more than a day. Snatched up, and next thing you know, there's a white girl in Oklahoma. Like, oh, girl, okay, body T, okay, face T. And it's like, and she has all right because the culture is just the internet economy. You know what I mean? So it's like, what the fuck is that culture? Yeah, exactly. It's like culture.
So Cole is basically saying because a white girl in Oklahoma can say clocking that T that the culture don't exist no more because she can steal the culture and now it's whack and now we are not we're invalid now because the white girl in Oklahoma. Cole's whole argument is based on your stuff hits the internet, it gets tagged up by white people is what he's saying, and then they make it corny and it's really not real. Slang used to mean something and now it don't because the girl in Oklahoma can start saying it too, right? Remember the dab, when everybody started doing the dab? Yeah, shit gets out of style. It is what it is. It don't mean the culture don't exist. We lay a lot of groundwork for shit that's cool. And they do come in and they take it and they turn it into whatever. But at the end of the day, it don't mean it don't exist. And the black girls that you're talking about, they make a lot more shit up than just clock that T, my G. A lot of fucking shit. Okay? So it don't mean, and then guess what they from? The culture, our culture. So for you to sit up here and try to make it like they're invalid because a white girl, literally his words, not mine, a white girl in Oklahoma can say clock that T, now there ain't no culture. Stop this, man. Somebody got to get out there and get in front of these interviews. It ain't making no sense. And these guys giddy gumdrop agreeing with him because they have to. Or he gets up and walks out. It's that simple.
Like buzz and formulate before it's like
can't even marinate.
You can't even marinate, bro. Before it's just automatically passed around, like because TikTok is like, yo, and everything's a blessing and a curse. You know what I mean? It's like there's good about it, and
pros, but
I'm telling you,
that was a video I was kind of talking on my channel. You know, I was just talking about that. You know, just the idea of culture, and when I was also talking about the idea of what a classic is and how that's changed and. The internet thinks because someone specifically in my comment section was just like, oh, it has to be it's got to be culture shifting and all this other stuff, and I'm like, did Mobb Deep Infamous, did that shift the culture? Right? I mean, it's a classic.
Yes, it is.
A super classic. My most listened to hip hop album of all time is Infamous. I'm like, did it shift it? Right? So I'm just thinking, I'm like, do people really know what that word meant, or do we need to update, you know, what that word means? I'm like, am I behind or am I out of the loop? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about that. I'm like, man, even the word classic just doesn't mean what it used to mean.
Yeah, because it's too many voices now.
Yeah.
It's too many. It's too many voices.
Well, let me say this. It is too many voices, but at the same time, they're going to go on to say about there will never be another universal classic. The culture decides that. And most of the people in the culture that I know, that I respect, they were saying that the Clips was a classic. Right? There were a lot of people that I heard, a lot of voices in the culture that I respect. They were universally saying, well, and there's no album that they're going to say universally is a classic. But for the most part, people are saying that the Clips dropped the classic. Now, it takes people a long time to say stuff is classic. It is what it is, and I understand that. And we don't just run around with that word, just throwing it out there. This is a classic. That's a classic. Da, da, da. And some people have overused it. But at the end of the day, guess who's going to when it is time to say something's a classic? It's going to be the culture. And I don't know too many people culturally that say Cole has a classic. I'm sure some people say Forest Hills Drive or whatever. That's a classic. It ain't a whole lot more. Okay, let's just be honest. And most of the rappers right now are talking about the culture, this, the culture, that, having trouble with the culture. Okay, so with him trying to say, oh, there ain't no classics, to me, it feel like yet another attempt to discredit what the culture is saying. Just like they say Drake don't have no classics. Well, guess who's trying to discredit what the culture says? The same people. Let me continue.
Voices and it's too much bias, and there's never going to be agreement again necessarily unless like it's just too much, and it's like it's like politics. It's like politics now, especially when you got the bigger artists. Yeah, your best bet to get another quote unquote like hands down universal classic is got to be from someone that hasn't developed enough hate yet. You know what I mean? Like you got to have because if you have enough people like riding against you or like a bias against you, it's like you think they're gonna give you that? Like you think if Drake Iceman come out and it's something that I feel is a classic, do you think that this nigga that don't like Drake and been spending his whole time shitting on him is gonna agree to his platform that it's a classic? Yeah, man, no. Fuck no. It's no.
So you gotta say it's a classic or you hate it. So end of the day, I don't know nobody that goes around saying Drake has made a classic ever. So let's imagine a world where Iceman somehow miraculously, like what happens is people usually do after they get a certain age, they're going to repeat the same tactic. They're not going to just surprise you out of nowhere and drop a fucking classic. All right, they don't work like that. I don't know nobody been around 15 years that's never dropped one. All of a sudden, Iceman's a classic. All of a sudden, universally, and then niggas won't say it because they hating. You usually like Forrest Gump says, "Stupid is as stupid does." That's my mama says, "Stupid is as stupid does." Right? End of the day, if someone does something consistently for 15 years, that's just what it is at some point. So it's not that somebody's hating because they won't say that this thing is a classic when it comes out. The odds of it being a classic is not high at all, just based on track record. But Cole is trying to make the case that if niggas don't like you, then they're going to whatever. Well, that leads back to culture and how you're culturally accepted for the shit you've done in it. And a lot of times people's reputation gets fucked up, Cole. They get hated on apparently because how they move in that culture. And now your name is getting sullied because how you moved in it. You make it like niggas just hate you for no reason. Let's get to that. Why do they hate that nigga? Why do they say, yo, why would they have a problem with saying Iceman's a classic? Because for years, he's been doing a lot of fuck shit that the culture don't fucking rock with. Ghostwriters, stealing songs, beating up your ghostwriters, fucking niggas, chicks. He's been moving weird in this space. Not to mention the wine coolers. So when Kendrick put it all in the record, the culture said yes. Okay, J. Cole, just in case you think it's just a bunch of niggas hating. This is the thing they never asked. It was 20v1, but why? I keep saying all the time, it wasn't no 20v1, but they love saying that. About 5 niggas that was mad, 6. Many more, but they didn't get involved. Right? But since we're going to go with this 20v1 narrative, why was it 20v1? Every one of them 20 niggas had a problem with them. And I know y'all like to think just because they hated success. Actually, no. It was more shit to it because they was with him. Everybody that's fucking beefing with him was with him at one point. Everybody that's in the 20v1 has a fucking record with the nigga. So they didn't always hate him. They didn't wish him ill will for success. Every one of them have a story. Cole, consequences matter. So Cole want to erase, just like he want to erase 7-minute drill. He want to erase all the reasons that the 20 got the V's to get at the 1. That the 20s have a problem with the 1. So you want to erase all that and you don't want to have that conversation. But it happens, bro. It happens.
It's no chance. So it's like we have understood universal classics from the day and age before shit was filtered.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now you have like niche classics where it's like, yo, like, man, just trust the people over there. Like that's a classic to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a classic to them. But the universal shit,
It's over.
it may be.
Literally,
you know what I mean?
literally the title of my video was The Universal Classic Dead.
Right. Yeah.
That's
And
what I
even back then, it's like,
All right. So the culture decides what's culturally a classic. Even that is never universal. I can sit here and name 10 classics, and some of them comments will be like, that ain't a classic. For the most part, the consensus will be 80-20, 75 to 25. That is a classic. That passes the smell test for a classic. There is no 100%. Let me just be honest with you. Most people gonna say Blueprint is a classic, but they're gonna be some people be like, I don't like that record at all. Right? I can sit and say Dr. Dre's Chronic is a classic. Somebody gonna be like, that shit is ass. So there is no universal. There was never universal, but there are some records that niggas gonna stop fighting you about and saying it's classic or not. Some records they're gonna just stop fighting. They'll be like, fuck it, yeah, it's a classic. I'm gonna sit here and say Nas Illmatic is a classic. It's gonna have a high rating, but it's not gonna be 100%. And some of these motherfuckers will say it's a classic just because other people say it's a classic and they don't want to bitch about it. But at the end of the day, there is no universally accepted classic, but there are records that's universally saying it ain't. And a lot of those records from Drizzy is on that ain't list. Okay? I want to say you take his best record and say this is the best record. Take Care, or if this and that you're too close, or name any of them joints, and it's going to have ones are going to have higher marks. 35-40% of the people say it's a classic. 50%. There ain't no 80-90% of the people going to say this. None of his shit's a classic, and none of Cole shit is 90%. Let me know in the comments. Am I bugging out? But at the end of the day, there is no universal classic no more. It never was ever. There are records that people can say, okay, you make a good case. Okay, Wu-Tang Forever. Is that a classic? Some people say it is. Some people say Wu-Tang 36 Chambers is a classic. Some people never heard 36 Chambers. So it ain't no universal classic anyway. So but what he's trying to say is they right back there to saying social media will never agree again because of standum. That's what he's trying to get at. And because of the culture. What he's trying to say is, y'all niggas ain't gonna never be fair to us. So we got to discredit you. Y'all ain't gonna never be fair to me and Drake. You're never gonna give Iceman a fair shot. So we got to blow the whole shit up. I told you a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I said Drake will blow this whole shit up before he let us say he ain't part of this game no more like we were doing. And then that's what he did. He went to the court. He threw UMG under the rug and everybody else. I said, he'll blow that whole house up before he fucking fail. It'll be everybody's fault. He'll bring down Lucian Grange, Kendrick, everybody in UMG without even thinking about it because he lost his battle. These guys are worried about their legacy right now. They got enough money, gang. They make so much money, it's not even about the money no more. J. Cole pretending to be broke at this point. J. Cole got so much money, he riding around in a Honda Civic at this point. Okay? That's how this is where they're at. So at the end of the day, they don't care about the money no more. They making tons of money. They making residuals off shit they did 10 years ago. Right now it's legacy. And the only thing stopping the legacy is the culture. It's sadly to say, even with Jay, the only real stain on his record culturally is Takeover and Ether. If you get in any chat room and they start talking about Takeover and Ether and Nas and Jay-Z, the real stain gonna come on Jay-Z when them Nas fans come in that chat room and start talking about Jay got ethered. That's a stain on the legacy. Then they start talking about condoms on the baby seat. super ugly. That's a stain on the legacy. If we can erase all that shit, then it don't matter. It never existed. And that's what Cole's trying to do. They trying to cape for Drake gang. Like, I don't even know if this guy's even asking them to do this. But they get helped if he get helped. If they can repair his legacy, all legacies can be repaired. If they can destroy this culture shit, then they back in like Flynn. And it ain't no conversation. We shouldn't be battle rapping anyway. So why y'all still talking about that? Remember, we grew up. We matured. The culture has matured. Why are you still talking about that?
There were universal classics, but it was like, yo, sometimes people just don't give a fuck enough. Like, people don't give a fuck. Nobody in here is going to debate.
You said Illmatic.
How many people knew that shit even dropped when it dropped?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how many people even knew to join the debate? By the time Illmatic made it to me, to my awareness, it was already a classic.
Right.
So when I press play, I'm listening to it as a classic. Go check how many units Illmatic sold the first week.
Oh, yeah.
Shit might have been 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 12,000 or something. But my point is, it developed a niche understanding that, yo, this is a fucking classic. And by the time it made it outward, we listening in agreement.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't debate to this day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And throughout this interview, he keeps using the word niche. And niche is to say is a small. No, the culture, the niche thing you keep saying is niche, right? He uses it more than that one time. That's the culture. The culture. Not niche. Cultural classic. Okay? The culture that you're trying to say don't exist no more is universally, for the most part, for lack of a better word, says that Illmatic is a classic. It ain't a niche, it's the culture of rap. And it's not about record sales, because the culture of rap I keep telling y'all, they had bootleggers back in the day. Everybody had a copy of Kanye. Everybody had a copy of Mobb Deep's Murder Music from the bootlegger. That's why they were beating up bootleggers. Tupac beat up the bootlegger. A lot of people, Naughty by Nation, used to allegedly stomp. No, I think it was Church that had a problem with the bootleg. I don't remember. But I know it was a lot of rappers, if they caught the bootlegger, bootleg, you get your leg broke, right? Go for all you young niggas. Go Google bootleg, you get your leg broke. They made songs about beating up bootleggers, right? The bootleggers was the bot makers, like at the time, but it's reversed, right? At the time, you used to go get your music. The bootleggers would get a leak copy, burn a whole bunch of copies of it, and sell it right on the block for $10 or whatever. And they had tapes and CDs, right? And the bootleggers was the public enemy #1. But guess what? A lot of people got their shit from the bootleggers before the store. The fucking Holy Grail was to get this shit before it even dropped. That was the bootleggers' dream, to get it 7 days before. You know what I mean? People had to push up their release date. Eminem had to push up his release date when his shit got fucking. I think it was his second album. Might have been the second album or the third, but he had to push up his release date. Why? Because the bootleggers got a handle of it. So maybe you didn't do 50,000 first week on Billboard, but it was 50,000 CDs in the fucking street saying that shit's classic. Kanye's first record got bootlegged. That fucking late registration got bootlegged. And we was like, Kanye was already stamped. We sitting around playing Madden. What year was that? We playing Madden, listening to the fucking When It All Falls Down. And when it was fucking Lawrence Hill voice, before she declined to let him use that sample. We had that version of Lauryn Hill, bootleg copy. That fucking CD was cracking. Okay? Late registration was cracking in the hood. They had to go, and Kanye did what he still does now, fix and change this, that, and the third, tweaking this, that, and the third. But Kanye was platinum in the hood, like they used to say. So, yeah, Cole, Illmatic didn't have the numbers, and it took fucking, 10 years to do gold or some crazy shit? 10 years to do gold or platinum, whatever it took a very long time, let's say that. And Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt took a very long time, too. But guess what the culture says about those two records? They're classic. That's why the culture exists. And the culture says what's what. And the culture made them able to get the second and third and fourth records off. Right? So what usually happens, so let me explain to you what usually happens. Let me tell you a little story about the Fugees, right? The Fugees' first record was trash. not the score. They did a record, I believe it's called Blunted on Reality, right? But they admittedly said they recorded all of that stuff a year or so earlier, and it took time to get the label to drop it, whatever the case. So by the time the Fugees dropped Blunted on Reality, all the music was already dated, right? So when that record dropped, it was I remember being in the car, me and my homeboys, right? We was in the car. We used to get in cars and ride around, listen to music, right? So we put Blunted on Reality in, and we're like, because it got jazzy sounds, and all this shit is already old. But they put a remix on Blunted on Reality. I believe it's the Nappy Heads remix. Might have been Salam Remy who made the beat. He did the remix. Somebody did a remix. I think it was Salam Remy. All right, I could be wrong. But they had a remix on that Fugees album. And that remix was so dope to the culture. We ran up that song and went and told everybody that record is banging. The Nappy Heads remix. Somebody stop me when I'm lying. So the Nappy Head remix to the culture was accepted. That ended up letting Fugees not get dropped from their record label, and they got a second album deal. They got a new chance at life. They was about to get dropped. They made a new album called The Score. And this time when we rode around, we bought reluctantly, I'm just going to be honest. We was like, that remix dope, but I don't know. That Nappy Head remix dope, but I don't know. Right? But once again, we bought the copy, got in the car, put the score in. And this a car full of MCs. And we like this, yo. What? Boom, boom, boom. What? The score, my G? That's what you would call a universal classic if we doing this. 95% approval rating, the Fuji Score. Okay? But guess why they got their record deal renewed? Because the culture liked one remix. They was about to get dropped. And the culture liked one remix. Didn't sell no fucking units. Lauryn Hill ended up in Sister Act 2 or the one or whichever one, right? Salute to Tanya Blunt, who was in that. She went to school with me. But end of the day, Fugees was about to get dropped, but the culture said, hold up. Like, what's that movie? Was it Menace? He said, get a little nigga a drink. We like, hold up. Let's get these niggas another shot. The only reason you had the Fugees, the Score album, is because the culture said give them another shot off of one remix. So, end of the day, the culture does decide what goes in and what don't. All right? So, a lot of this classic talk, you can't even be a classic unless the culture says that. Let me finish this.
Then again, Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. Go read some of them reviews.
Oh, it took a while.
Yeah.
It took a little
Yo, they
while.
was shitting on this.
Bad.
They was shitting on that bad.
Right.
But the power of the music and the how good the music was out.
So, who is they? They are the critics of the magazines, not the culture. He said, read the reviews of Reasonable Doubt. My G, let me just explain something to you young people that don't understand. Jay-Z was Jaz-O's DJ. Jay-Z was of Hawaiian Sophie fame. Absolutely no one was checking for Jay-Z rapping. I'm just going to be honest. My man Chop is a DJ, and I went to Chop's house, and he had to force me to listen to this. He's like, no. He's like, hold up, no, listen. I know, I get it. It's Jay-Z, skinny nigga, da. But just hear this shit, Charles. Hear this nigga out. He's like, this Jonah, all right. Chop is a DJ. And he literally was campaigning for us to even give the Jay-Z shit a doubt. See, homeboy in the comments, he said Reasonable Doubt is not a classic. He has 3 classic tracks: Dead Prayers, Can't Knock the Hustle, and Brooklyn's Finest. There is no such thing as universal classic. But for the most part, niggas is going to say Reasonable Doubt is a classic, especially in the streets, in the culture. They're going to say that. It is what it is. Now you're gonna get a dude like the Elite Raiders, a lot of them that's gonna say it's not a classic, but he know the album. He's named Brooklyn Finest, da. But for the most part, the culture said that Reasonable Doubt. But it took, like I was telling you, Jay-Z didn't get no respect when he first dropped this joint. That's why he has a skit that with the niggas clowning him on his own record. Say, what is Jay-Z the rapper? Jay-Z knew that niggas didn't respect him when he first dropped. It's just a fact. The culture wasn't checking for no Jay-Z. But end of the day, as we did with the Fugees, we gave it a shot. My homeboy Chop kept pushing it. Kane knocked the hustle, all the shit. Dead presidents, not a third. That president's the represent. That's why he needed that Nas looks. He needed that Nas cosign so bad. That's why the shit got ugly with him and Nas, because Nas didn't show up or do something for the fucking song, that whatever it was. That's how the shit started to get where it was. Right? He needed that cosign. He needed that. That president's the represent. He needed that sample. Okay. Salute to Elite. I see you. Oh, salute. Oh, it's a woman from Oakland. Salute to Elite Reed. I love you. So listen. Now, end of the day, right? Reasonable Doubt was a slow burn. Cole don't know that. It didn't come out the gate a classic. All right. What happened was that was 96, if I'm not mistaken. Now, a lot of us was out on the block doing the shake and bake. Right? Out in the streets doing what street niggas do. A lot of us was just regular dudes listening to hip hop. And we already had our favorites. I think 96, Nas had already came out. A lot of things was changing in hip hop. Wu-Tang had came out. A lot of things were shifting. A lot of West Coast dudes was making noise. It changed. Hieroglyphics and King T and all them. It was starting to make some noise, and things were changing. The culture was shifting, right? And Jay-Z was just walking into the game. He had that one single, and he was starting to make some noise. But we had only knew him. I think he was from a group. I believe his group was called The Main something. He was in some group where they were doing the flipping the tongues. So we wasn't checking for no Jay-Z. Just gonna be honest. He wasn't even wearing his hat yet. Still, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't Jay-Z yet. So when Reasonable Doubt dropped out, he was just some random nigga from New York trying to pop. Somebody tell me the name of that group that Jay-Z was in. Flipping the tongues. That shit, right? That style of rap was already phasing out. Right? So end of the day, when Reasonable Doubt dropped, he had a slow climb to get hip-hop to respect it. But a lot of dudes like me started listening to it in the car by myself. And you started to pick up on all this. It's just such a real-ass record. Rap wasn't ready for that record. Just like Illmatic. They weren't ready for it. But as it started to fucking pop. And that the originator, salute to Culture Vulture. Salute. The originators was the group that Jay-Z was in. I'm flipping the tongue, right? That was this group. We wasn't ready for it. And when it dropped, it took time, and we started to slowly pay attention to Reasonable Doubt. And what would happen is your man get in the car, fuck you listening to, then you play it for him. And he not with it at first, then he like, wait, but he's saying such real shit. It's like, wait, this didn't join with Biggie? This nigga that know Biggie, da. So the Biggie cosign started to connect. Then the fucking boom, right? That ain't no nigga like that Foxy Brown joint that took off like a rocket in the hood, in the culture. I went to mad clubs, and the DJ when the DJ would play that, it would be telling you, I know you niggas you ain't up on this shit yet. So here you fucking go, boom. But he didn't know that we was already on it. But you never heard it in the club. That ain't no nigga. When they play Ain't No Nigga in the club, niggas would go fucking lose their mind. Right? No one. And Jazzo made that record with him. So, end of the day, Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt took a long time to get there. J. Cole's right. They weren't calling it a classic from day one. Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt really wasn't called a classic. I'm gonna go on a limb. They wasn't calling that shit till about 3 years later. Like, they wasn't know this a classic. It took Reasonable Doubt a couple years for dudes to come out. What do you say? Reasonable Doubt came out, y'all all flamed out. Y'all faked out. They wasn't talking about that shit till he dropped the next shit. But the culture was saying Reasonable Doubt is crazy. Why do you think the nigga got a show right now? He do it at the Yankee Stadium for Reasonable Doubt. They fuck with it now, don't they? Shit sold out. So Cole has a point, but then he's being disingenuous talking about the reviews of the critics. The critics didn't make everything. We didn't do shit. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all niggas really know this. Rap, hip hop hated critics. Critics were usually out of touch motherfuckers that had nothing to do with the culture. We hated critics. Method Man says, motherfucker rap critic. They talk about it while I live it. We hated critics. We did not go by what critics said back then. But Cole says, check the reviews, check what critics were saying. Guess what? Sims, you right. I need them tickets, Hov. After all this shit I say about you and Cole, I still need them tickets. But at the end of the day, Cole don't understand. We didn't go by the critics. So he's trying to make a point that Reasonable Doubt wasn't a classic back then. Well, it took time to become a classic. That's back when it was less music coming out. It's a lot of music coming out now. But at the end of the day, Jay-Z was skinny Jazzo's D. He was Jazzo's DJ from Hawaiian Sophie. He was a skinny nigga that hadn't had no rep yet. So it took niggas under time to really believe. We didn't believe that rappers were drug dealers, gang. Let's start there. It took Hov a lot of bars to get believed. I'm just going to be honest. And when you were living that life and you were really in the streets and you start listening to this guy, you're like, you reluctantly started to give in to Jay-Z. Reluctantly. You were like, damn, that is true. Like, shit, that is true too. Like, he was saying so much real shit that you couldn't take it for granted no more, and you had to start respecting it. And a lot of people, just like the Fugees, they were waiting on the second album to see what he was going to say. And when he came back with the second album and it hit, so then they started saying, okay, now we can openly say Reasonable Doubt is a classic. Because he didn't get them one-hit wonder. Niggas don't like to give one-hit wonders fucking flowers, gang. You don't hear nobody going around talking about Mike Geronimo got a classic. No, nigga. No. Okay? Because we don't give niggas with one album, one-hit wonder, we don't give them classic status. It's just, it is what it is.
Outweighed the hate and it outlasted the hate. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's possible today. That's possible today.
Yeah.
If the music is good enough, if the music is good enough,
for sure.
yeah, if the music is good, withstand the hate and outlast the hate to where the haters just lose their steam and the real Reasonable Doubt level starts to win, you got to shout.
Don't even look at I wouldn't even look on. If I was an artist, if I was you, I wouldn't even look online for about a week. Or I would know what pockets to look into.
And yep. And that's great advice.
One thing that I said,
so first of all, let's say this. A lot of times people hate on somebody for a reason. Okay, it's usually something that you did, said, or done to make people hate on you, right? And Cole should be used to that hate. So a lot of his fans say he has classics, but some people have been hating on Cole since he first came in this thing from back in the day. I mean, they loved him in the beginning, but then somewhere down the line, people started being like, "Yo, this, that, and the third." End of the day, Cole still gets big numbers. He still get mad love from people, this, that, and the third. But at the same time, he's a master amount of hate. That doesn't mean he shouldn't be able to be looked at positively or say he got a classic, this, that, and the third. If your music is good and you've done enough work, it's going to be accepted. Now, right now, the hate he's talking about is a lot of people talking about things culturally that they don't agree with how he's handled these things. Right now, he's getting kicked in the back because he handled things very poorly according to the codes of our culture. So right now, this is what he's talking about. Like, oh, you're getting hate. He's talking about haters. Well, sometimes we got to ask the culture why they hating on this guy. Cole still did almost 300,000 the first week. So I don't know if he can really talk too much about hate. You still got your numbers. But nobody's calling that thing a class. Well, his fans saying it's classic. But just like the Kanye thing, they're going out of their way to say that's a classic. But it's only his fans. What he really want, what he's trying to tell you is culturally, I want all of you guys to say it was so good, whether if I like them or not, I still say it's a classic. That's what he wants you to say. He wants me to say the fall off was just that good, even though Cole dropped out of the battle and said some suspect shit in these interviews. I still think it's a classic, which hip hop used to do, right? Even if they didn't fuck with you, they would still say okay, but that's still a classic. And he wants that to come back. But they would only reserve that kind of judgment for somebody who didn't have a lot of smut on their fucking name and a lot of fuck shit against the culture. Even though they didn't like something you did, if you didn't have too much smut on your name, they would be like, okay, I don't really like that nigga, but he did his thing. That's as much as you're gonna get from a nigga that really hates you. Cole wants that. He wants niggas like me to shut the fuck up and be like, yo, even though he backed out, the fall off is still crazy. I don't think it's crazy though. He want to be told that it's crazy even when you don't think it is. And that's why he's out here bitching talking, I hope Iceman go crazy. And they're not going to call it a classic. He's setting the shit up for people to say it's trash. And then he can say, see, I told you. They're not going to ever say it's classic because it's great. It's staying culture.
And this is just, this is just from where I come from. A classic to me is a classic in the hood. That's it. Whatever the hood thinks is what I've always looked at as a classic. That's facts. Once it gets past that, I mean, and then, again, that was, you know what I'm saying? That
I like to take, I did hear you say this.
Go ahead, yeah, please. I
agree,
okay.
But I don't think that that's it. Only because, like, once again, when you say the hood, do you mean as a niche hood, this hood, that hood, all hoods? Because like once again, I could pull up I could pull up Illmatic and go, it's no way every hood in the United States is playing Illmatic. You know what I mean? It's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's a good point.
Actually, niggas where I'm from wasn't even really playing Illmatic. You know what I mean? That was not something that got played where I was from.
Yeah.
I can't. Now I'm sure there was a few dudes that really knew. Like, you know what I mean? In Fayetteville. You know what I mean? But it wasn't some sensational like what the Blueprint was, which is a hands down classic. We're playing every.
So the reason Cole is saying that because he's young. He's saying it because he's young. Illmatic came out in 94, if I'm not mistaken. He was young. So he might have been playing some other shit in 94. Nas wasn't the biggest artist yet in 94. He had just came out and he was getting really all the accolades from more backpack rappers or more people that was into the lyrical shit. Nas was supposed to be the next thing coming up, but he wasn't up yet. Okay. But at the end of the day, a lot of people with them videos was popping. If I ruled the world, I'm sorry, not that. But he got the video with the Pete Rock beat. I can't remember the name of it. New York and this down the third. He got quite a few records that was popping on video jukebox and this down the third. So they should have known who he was. Now we don't know what y'all was into in Fayetteville either. Right. So that don't mean that don't make it like, oh, Illmatic wasn't being bumped. Now, like I said, Illmatic and Reasonable Doubt, they both took time to bubble. They were these guys' first albums. Your first album not going to be like your second or your third. Now think about Nas' second album, right? If I Ruled the World with Lauryn Hill and The Firm and all this shit and da-da-da-da. Fake Thug, No Love, You Get the Slug, CB4 Gusto, right? The second album, that was cemented. And I'll have the conversation with anybody that Nas' second album, I don't want to divert you guys' attention with some crazy shit, but Nas' second album is better than the first one. It's just a better record. He had Dre on there, a lot of shit. No, like, motherfucker, what the fuck this nigga chose unsigned from this nigga? He said fucking Street Dreams and all that. It is what it is. And I love Illmatic. That second record, just a really solid record. All right. And guess what happened with the second record? Platinum, whole lot of money, whole lot of things going on. Now Nas is in the zeitgeist. But the first record, you can't judge Nas' career like by that. Because it's his first record. It's his first record. So yeah, Cole, it wasn't being bumped like that, but it was his first record. And it was a different audience that it was going to reach. Rather than what you probably listening to. You were younger in 94. I don't know how much hip-hop you were even into in 94. You probably were, I don't know, let me see. In 94, you're 30, you're 41 now. Yeah. You were a young cat. You might have been in high school. Okay. So you might have been listening to something different in 94. If you were listening to rap at all. You could have been listening to a whole lot of R&B. I don't know what you were doing. But I know most people that I know was listening to Illmatic. But let me finish.
Everywhere, like that wasn't Illmatic, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't debate its classic based off of that. Also, I would say my other counterpoint would be, like I believe there are niche classics that.
Wow, Furry said he was 10 in 94. 10 or 11. So you really can't say what they were bumping in Fayetteville in 94.
That the world may or may not agree with, they just don't even know. But it's like, I think it's somebody like an MF Doom, where it's like, where when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have gave a fuck. Like there was some Doom songs that I liked, you know what I mean? But it's like, I wasn't really checking for MF Doom, you know what I mean? It wasn't the type of shit I was listening to. Now, as I've gotten older, I can genuinely say, like, oh, nah, this nigga got, he was incredible, and he got classics. Yeah. But I guarantee you, we go in any hood right now and be like, yo, y'all fuck with MF Doom? No. Yeah. So
wait, slow down. So MF Doom is really from that ilk of underground niche rapper, He gets mad respect, right? And the hood is a different animal. So like he said, classics are in the hood. Yes, to a degree. I have to say that's true. Classics are starting in the hood, but at the end of the day, hip hop expanded beyond the hood, and a lot of people that make those records, do all these units, are not in the hood, gang. So you can't leave it at that. Yes, the hood is going to have to stamp it first, but it gets beyond the hood. There's a lot of people on these college campuses. A lot of your favorite rappers wouldn't be nowhere without college campuses, because their first tours were on college campuses. So you got to understand that somebody like a Doom is going to murder every college campus. So Doom is he's very highly regarded in that world, that hip hop world, the little more elevated, a little more educated, right? MF Doom is going to have a different kind of fan than say a Nas or somebody or NWA. They're a different kind of fan for MF Doom, but he has a lot of fans too. If you go to his Spotify, he got millions of people right now listening. Millions. So it is what it is. MF Doom may not have, but he never was trying to be on a certain level either. It's certain people that was looking for a certain thing from hip hop. MF Doom was only doing his own thing. This dude had a goddamn with a Magneto mask on. He wasn't trying to be mainstream or pop, and he achieved his goals anyway. Everybody wanted a feature from MF Doom. So hip hop heads knew who he was. So you're really exposing yourself right now, saying you don't know nothing about MF Doom. It is what it is. Some people didn't listen to him. It's fine, but we can't say, oh, the hood didn't know who he was. The hood is very eclectic, gang. I was dead ass in the hood listening to a whole lot of shit that wasn't a gangster or hustler shit, including MF Doom. I listened to a lot of hieroglyphics, a lot of shit, Dale the Funky Homo Sapien. I can sit here and go on and on, right? About all the shit I used to listen to. So it's not a cliche that the hood only listens to all this gangster shit. It don't work like that, right? I used to listen to Hall & Oates in the hood, Sade. So ain't no one thing that we're listening to.
I can't strip I can't strip him of the work he did, you know what I mean? So I damn near feel like a classic is like a personal.
It's all subjective.
Of course.
It's all subjective. I mean, and that has to be said.
Yeah.
But I think that when people are having these conversations and they're like, you know, is this we're having this community discussion, I think that word universal is what people want, that no matter
of course
who you talk to, where you go, Get Rich or Die Trying. Of course.
100%.
Like that was everywhere. I mean, you know, but I do think that
you got some people that would say that that's not a classic.
Exactly. I know.
Exactly. Fucking insane.
I know.
Bro.
You gotta go percentage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Give me
like 93%.
There you go. You're right.
93%. All right, cool. The other,
all right, got it. Understood.
But I do think that whatever it is, whether it's a niche classic or whatever the case may be, the barometer was it came from some urban station in whatever hood in the United States, and then it usually made its way out. So maybe someone in New York didn't know about Too Short's classic, but Too Short, his joint was a classic in his area.
Okay,
and then eventually it made its way out.
I agree.
Still say that would be niche, but that sort of next level of the casual hip hop fan knowing it and
I
loving
don't
it.
know.
And
I wasn't really paying attention. I don't know if you just said Too Short was niche. If Too Short is niche, I'm insane. Too Short was on every coast. He was from west to east. Too Short was a very big artist, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. I think Too Short was one of those platinum records from the West Coast. So Too Short was not niche. Too Short was huge, right? And again, just like with Jay-Z, I had to be put on the Too Short. These are the tales, the freaky tales, bitch, right? Too Short was barking for at least 5 years. Major player in the game. So I don't think Too Short was ever niche. He just was on Baby Keem album. To this day, they still respect him. So I don't know if he was niche, but maybe I said maybe he didn't say that. Maybe I heard it wrong.
I think it's a classic. It would probably be my, it used to be my barometer, but I just feel like the hood at some point seemed to lose control over
100%.
everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that was where it was ground zero here.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the world took it over. And then it was like whatever we said, whatever slang came from this,
there you go.
The rest of the world bought.
It became the internet, bro. And if it's the internet, anybody has a voice. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like
the idea
voice,
of a classic,
I understand
had to come here, and then it eventually made its way. Illmatic was a classic in the hood first, and then the rest of the world kind of got on.
Got it.
But now there's been a disconnect, I feel like, and again, you said it. You said it's pros and cons to the rise of the internet, which I agree with, but it's just a very confusing time, especially when you are of a certain age.
Yeah. And not only that, go ahead. No, I mean,
I was gonna say, like, more than ever, it's the time to just, believe in what you believe in.
Yes.
Like, don't look more than ever. Don't look to anybody else for validation of your opinion. You know what I mean? You can find community with those that agree with you that MF Doom dropped a classic, or that this one is a classic, or that one is a classic. But I feel like because the internet is the internet. You know what I mean? You got so many people out there who are looking for their musical taste and opinion based on what somebody else says. But no, more than ever, you got to find a way to like block that shit out and make your own, fuck your opinion. Fuck your nigga. What?
I just want to stop right here because J. Cole sounds like he's talking to 12-year-olds. I'm going to begin. And I know I'm not being fair because what he's saying is true. Make your own opinion. But he's making this plea to grown-ups. We're grown. We know how to make our opinion. I really hate the narrative as if all of everybody's opinion is being forced on them and they don't know what to like and they don't know what to pick and they don't know what to choose. They're all being manipulated by these streamers and reactors to say what's good. And that's why you won't say that Taylor Made was a better record. The narrative is getting ridiculous. How they're just making it like this whole thing was bought and paid for, and that and what happened 2 years ago really was only a figment of your imagination. The records weren't better. Not Like Us wasn't better, and you guys were forced to like it. It was botted, and you guys were a whole lot of fake accounts were created so that you would think you liked it. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to the 470,000 pro Kendrick channels. Listen to the 2 Drake pro Drake channels, because those are the ones that are really being real, right? He want to tell you guys that you're being manipulated into hating. So go do the research for yourself. Don't listen to other people. He doesn't think you're capable of making up your mind and actually selecting Kendrick over that next man.
What does your heart say?
Yeah,
that's right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yep. What does your heart say? Not what does your mind say?
Right.
Because that's honestly the worst way to listen to music. And I'm guilty of it too at times. It's like to listen with your mind. You know what I mean? I can't even imagine how many people listen to my album with their mind because they've been waiting on it for so long. I was talking about it for so long. Yeah. It would be hard to listen to this album without an expectation. You know what I mean? Yep. But it's like the worst way to listen to something is with your mind. The best.
Guys, I'm going to pause and let y'all tell me in the comments, is it me? Am I being crazy? Talk to me, gang. Sometimes I'm too mean. Sometimes I don't play nice and I don't understand the etiquette of this YouTube thing. where I'm supposed to just let people say whatever. But J. Cole said the worst way to listen to music is with your mind. What's going on, gang? I'm dead ass confused. The worst way to listen to music is with your mind. Gang, I'm actively trying to be better. I'm trying to be a better person. And a lot of shit I used to would say, I actively don't say these things no more. I really try to be better because I know people are real human beings, right? But what the fuck, my nigga? What are you talking about, dog? What's going on, gang? Don't listen to music with your mind, gang. I'm fucking around be saying that the rest of the week. Just get ready for that. I think I'm gonna start saying that about a week or two. Right? I think I don't think it's gonna be even you. I think I'm gonna let that go because I'm gonna be saying, don't listen to music with your mind. Use your heart. Don't use your mind. I'm confused, gang. I'm just gonna be honest.
Best way to listen to something is with your heart. So it's like, yo, that's why it's like I love the reaction space, like on YouTube. But in my mind, I'm a little conflicted because I'm like, yo, even selfishly, the nigga making this video, I don't want your first time listening to this shit to be for an audience. Like, I don't want your first time to listen to shit to be like for people.
Right.
Nigga, I made this shit for you in your room and your headphones, or you in your car in your space. Like, so
you're on a show of reactors, my G. You gotta make up your mind. Do you like this shit or not? This nigga conflicted about the most basic of shit. Even though I like reactors, I don't want you to look reacting to it for the first time. Gang, it's me. Hi.
So it's almost untrue off rip. Your reaction is automatically like tainted already because you have other people in you're listening with your mind. So I think, of course, people are able to, like, sometimes the music can cut through and people can listen with their heart even when they're on camera. Yeah. But I just think it's, and the worst, even worse than that, is someone who first experience of the album is watching someone else experience the album.
Yes, you're
it's
right.
Like, yo, you automatically not listening with your heart.
Yep.
And more than ever in this digital age where the algorithm is fucking poisoning us, you know what I mean, and controlling us, more than ever, it's like, yo, as music fans and music lovers, we got to find a way to, like, yo, shut that shit off, listen with our hearts, and listen to what your heart says and ride for that.
So when we put listen to a Cole, like we can't do a first time reaction. We can't listen with our minds. We gotta let how many spins we gotta give it before we can say what we think about it. Before our heart tells us it's good, right? Cole, gang, I don't know what's happening. I'm confused as fuck.
And don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. If I love this shit, there's no reason for me to go online and argue with a nigga that don't love this shit.
Exactly.
One, I'm not gonna change your mind. Two, it's not gonna serve me.
At all.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, just believe in what you believe. Find your community that believe what you believe, if that's what you into, and build with them. Don't spend no energy giving a fuck about what somebody else says. Because if you following your heart, you know your answer. Right? Yep. I don't need another opinion, nigga. I have the biggest opinion right here. Right. That's my heart is gonna tell me, do I feel this shit or not? You know what I mean? Yep. So hell.
This nigga Cole living in a fucking, I don't know what planet him and Jay-Z trying to create. They trying to make a better world, gang. I don't know, like, if we go to Mars, we're gonna have to be better. I get it. I guess if we're gonna elevate, maybe they elevated and I didn't. But I don't know how you're gonna not defend your top or your guy if you go online and start writing about how good it is. Somebody's coming in your comments gonna say something. End of the day, I'm like, what are you doing, Jay? And a lot of these guys that you're telling to just fill it with their heart, they're gonna go online and be the most obnoxious, toxic motherfuckers on there. They're not gonna listen to reason or nothing. They're gonna be saying, I could be talking about something else. They'll come in, shut up, fucker, da da da. Do he know his fan base is one of the most toxic fan bases out there? Listen, they're harder to deal with than Drake fans. I don't know if you know. I've been saying this for weeks. J. Cole fans are harder to deal with than Drake fans. They've been more obnoxious this last week than ever. I'm just going to be honest. So I don't know what kind of peaceful love monk shit he's trying to talk to these niggas. They the worst. On Twitter, right? And other places. So now you telling them to what? Stand down? It ain't gonna happen, gang. And I don't know how. I don't even know if they want to. I don't know if the internet allows you to stand down. You're not gonna stop stand culture. Not with this listen to it with your heart shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on, gang. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah. I love that, man. I love that, man. And what I was gonna say is, I grew up in Chicago. You know, I'm from Chicago, but my mother, when I was 16, she acquired a better position in San Diego. So I moved to San Diego.
Right.
So I got a unique perspective, right? Because, you know, being from Chicago, house music, you know what I mean? And, you know what I'm saying, Crucial Conflict, and Common, and, you know, Twister, you know, all that stuff. And then I come out to the West Coast. I thought West Coast music was trash. I was like, this shit is whack. You know what I'm saying? When I first moved there coming from Chicago, I'm like, y'all don't know how to rap out here, man. Y'all on those crazy little Casio keyboard beats and shit. And, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that was hip hop. Hip hop did used to think West Coast was trash. A lot of motherfuckers from different coasts always think the other coast is trash. So that is a fact. I can't even. That's why we got that fuck Compton from Tim Dog, because East Coast was hating on the West Coast and this, that, and the third, and they hated on South. They hated on the Midwest. So a lot of East Coast dudes are elitists. So this is how we got where we are in the first place with all this hate in this culture, and that Jay-Z gonna try to make it like it's battle rap. No, niggas been hating since the fucking 80s and 70s and 80s. They've been hating on each other. So this shit is not new. But Cole wants you to listen with your heart, guys.
Right. Once I stayed there for a while, you know what I mean? And I started hearing some Too Short. I started hearing, you know, some 40, you know, and stuff like that. And really started to kind of, you know, you're a product of your environment. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then when other people say it's good, you know, you're like, man, you know, because especially when you're young, you're like, you can't give it up, right? But George will tell you now, man, some of my favorite songs come from Too Short now. And I think that's a good segue with George had a question. I was like, yeah, you got to ask him that. But I think what happens is we get confused with like what people are saying, right? Instead of following your heart. What do you like? What do you like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's a perfect, ask him what, you know, who he listens to.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to get you. I'm sorry, but I got
to. So much.
Because I want to talk about what we talked about when I talked to you about my brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How he made me feel.
Okay.
Because I guess because my mind is racing right now because I feel like, damn. But I'm thinking about just I feel like when we say we don't like something, I feel like, let's just say I'm like, yo, we had a rapper reach out to us. I won't name names. He said a line was corny. I was like, yo, that line was corny. You know, he reached out to us. He's like, just so you know, I'm not corny.
Ain't nothing corny. I'm like, yeah.
I was like, nah, we've just, I didn't say this to him, but in my head, I'm like, oh, no, I just thought the line was corny. So when we say we think something is corny, we don't like this, or this is, you know, I just feel like people, because of this sort of parasocial or whatever type of relationship that they have with rappers now, they identify, it just, they take it as we're saying that specifically about them.
Right.
You know, I identify with this rapper. So if you say this rapper is corny, then I'm corny.
Right.
And it becomes like,
you
could just, I feel it. I think that because I feel it in how they respond. I feel like they're taking it personally, you know, and that kind of brings me to what we were talking about. And I said, you know, I was having an argument with my brother. Shout out to my brother Shino. You know, he'll like this. And I was having like an argument or debate with my brother Shino about Jay versus Nas. And I was younger. You know what I mean? And I was just like, yo, Jay this and Jay that. He was on the side of Nas because he prefers Nas's content. He thinks it's just better for the world and all this other stuff. But I was like, yeah, but Jay is slick talking all that. He's talking about bar work and this and that. It's Jay. Just his story and how he came from nothing. And, you know, just the sort of authenticity.
I want to play this other clip before I get out of here. This thing about the reactors. I want to hear this one.
I mean, we could go on, but man,
No, you tired.
Thorough, boy. This is a good one.
I appreciate your time, man.
Couldn't have went any better.
What, how much time y'all think that was?
2
hours. Oh, yeah. That didn't feel like 2 hours.
Yeah, we was floating, man. We was floating. We could talk to you all day, though, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Because you come from where we come from, man. man. We fuck with you. We rock with, man. We appreciate you coming.
We do.
Thank you, bro.
I know you tired. I know you're on East Coast time. You know, we appreciate you coming out,
Can't
man.
wait to hear about that thing you told us about.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Oh, right.
That thing earlier. That thing earlier that you told us about. I'm looking forward to that.
Nah, that was dope. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. This was a pleasure, man.
You could have went to Barbara Walters.
Yeah, you could have went everywhere.
St.
Is Barbara
Lowe.
Walters still?
I don't know. Rest in peace. I don't see a lot. Shout out to Barbara Walters.
Yeah, that's a good
But
point.
anywhere. But you decided to stop and
We appreciate
give us,
you, man.
An amazing look, dude. We did not see this coming, and we are eternally grateful for you to even stop by to give us this time.
Thank
we appreciate
you,
you, man.
And likewise, thank y'all for having me. And I do want to let the like I said, the rest of the reaction community know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
like, yo,
Shout them out.
Yeah, there's first and foremost, I think the damn near like
Big King, remember Big Quint, whatever his
Big Quint was
'Cause
hard.
you were
Yeah.
posting him a while.
Yes, that
Shout
was
out to him.
after Forest Hill Drive. I think he's still doing his thing.
Yeah.
No Life Shack.
Shout out to No
You
Life
know what I
Shack.
mean? These are places where I would like to go. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Before the year's up, I like
Okay.
to like stop
Yeah.
by these. It's a dude. He be doing a glitch like. I don't know if you've seen this dude. Like when somebody got a bar, it's like glitch gang or something like.
Is it like in the editing?
Yes, when somebody does a bar,
Yeah.
he'll put up the glitch. Like when somebody says some shit like a potent line or something,
Yeah.
he'll be like, it'll be slow mo. He'll be like, like he getting punched. T go crazy or some shit like this.
Okay,
Like,
shout
that's
out
somebody
to
who
him.
that's somebody who shit I've enjoyed.
Dope, man.
It's a white dude, Knox, something Knox. He a white dude, but he rap. But I like some of his breakdowns.
Dope.
It's a dude.
I knew Cole would like Knox because Knox loves some Cole. So I could see Cole sitting there watching the whole Knox video. No disrespect to Knox, but I was like, I watch Knox when I see him. I said, yeah, Cole sit there and watch this Giddy Gumdrops. So I knew he would like Knox. I'm just gonna be honest.
I'm not gonna know this dude's name, but he's I don't know if he's from California. He got tats on his face. He be with his girl.
Oh, he's from here too. What's his
Oh, he's from here? Oh, he's from Vegas?
Oh, what's his name?
He's a reactor?
Ghost?
Yeah.
DJ Ghost?
No, I fuck with Ghost though. I fuck with
Shout
DJ Ghost.
out to him. Yeah. I think
Nah. This is a different dude. Shout out DJ Ghost. I'll pull up on him too. Shit. But this is a dude. He like, I think he said he might be from Compton. He got like tats on his face, maybe wear glasses. He be with his girl.
Okay.
His girl be with him doing reaction. I wish I could remember his name, but I fuck with his shit too.
Okay.
But yeah, just in general, even people that I'm not naming, it's like, yo, like my plan in doing this, like doing the trunk sale tour was so fun for me.
Yeah.
Because I got to see people in real life and like have conversations or like listen to what people got to say. And then just really realize like, damn, I've been dropping albums for the past however long and I just be staying in the house. I just go live my life. And this is so similar to the trunk sale, this is a joy for me to talk to y'all.
Man,
man.
Dope. Meet y'all in real life.
Brother.
You know what I mean? So I plan on doing that throughout the year, not just in the reactor space, but in a lot of little. I told you, YouTube my most used app.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of little
streaming or
platforms.
something, you know, whatever.
Word up. Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
No, shout out to all those reactors, man.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to get acknowledgement, man, especially from a major artist, man. We really
up.
appreciate.
Rhyme Rate, subscribe, Lost
Yes, sir.
Advantage, and Rhyme
Yo,
Rate.
man,
You know what I
please
mean?
do.
Subscribe right now.
Yeah, we'll have.
So just so you guys are aware, Cole is telling you he's watching reactors game. He's watching a lot of react. He named quite a few, but to get to those, you got to get through a whole bunch to figure out which ones are friendly, friend or foe. State your biz. So Cole is watching a whole bunch of reactors. He knows how this game works. And that trigger word, I'm gonna tell you right now, I know for a fact that culture trigger word, especially when I said I had what's this guy? What's the dirt? What's the dirt? Finally blocked me on Twitter. What's the dirt? And I don't even be going there. I don't know when he blocked me, but we had a whole back and forth, like a whole thing where he reacted to me reacting to him, and he did this, not the third. But I was like the culture, in my video, and I'm just a very passionate guy. So he came back with a response video, and it was kind of weak or whatever. But end of the day, he hates that word when I said that word culture. So he went on the whole thing, a mission to start to degrade that word culture. And his tweets, he was going for a couple of weeks with these anti-culture tweets. So I know that word culture digs up their crawl. I know for a fact when guys like me say that, it bothers them, because what it really means is the real people versus the fake shit. in many ways. And a lot of times, somebody that's in this culture, they're not going to stand for a lot of nonsense. They're not going to let you get away with a lot of nonsense. They're not going to wave it away and be like, oh, yeah, we forgive you real easy. Don't work like that. Your best bet is to stop asking and just do your job. Just get out here, stop talking about it. Do what Kendrick do. He stopped talking about it. I don't know if y'all remember when Kendrick got in his version of hot water when people, and you could say they culture or not, but they got a little offended when he was the record where he was like, I love myself, right? That record, he said something to the fact of I don't remember exactly what it was, something to the fact that I don't even remember what the lyric was, but whatever it was, people had an issue with it. It wasn't, I knew what he meant, but they were having a problem with it. And they were coming down on him, this, that, and the third. And what Kendrick did was silence. He didn't respond. He didn't do an interview trying to explain himself. He just moved on. And they literally was trying. This is when canceling was a thing. Let's cancel him. That's when they tried. It was a fake movement, so people saw through it. But they tried to cancel Kendrick for saying something in that about I love myself. Oh, when he said the thing about the police. He did something about the police in that record, but that wasn't the whole thing. Like he said, I put a bullet in the back of the police. They were trying to cancel him, but that wasn't the whole thing, but that was part of it. But they tried to cancel him. He didn't come out and do a whole lot of interviews. He didn't come out and try to explain himself. He just kept working. You know what I mean? He kept working, and a lot of people just had to move on with their life, and he just let his music do the talking. Cole didn't do that. Cole's out here doing the goofiest of interviews and doing way too much and letting us way too in on his whole process. In the end of the day, it didn't work out well. So right now, I'm gonna get out of here. Listen, Lost in Vegas, they did their job. They got their hero up there, and they made a video that surely is going to be respected by the J. Cole community, because I looked in the comments and they're ecstatic about this. They're like, you guys are awesome. Well, everywhere he's gone, his fans have loved these interviews, even if the interviews were god-awful boring, or if they were just ridiculous stuff like saying stuff like listen with your heart. They don't care. They just want to hear what he got to say. So end of the day, I'm going to leave it at this, man. Listen, whatever. End of the day, we're not letting Cole off the hook with this culture shit. You're not going to cancel the culture. We still here. We still have something to say about what you did. It wasn't cool, and we're not going to have you just rummaging around back up and through here acting like you this big bone and brolic dude after you wrote that rhyme and then decided to bow out and back out of the battle, and now you want to sit here and try to question everything we got going on. No, we don't believe you. I'm out of here, man. We did 3 hours, gang. You know what I'm saying? The first time ever on this channel. He never did 3 hours, but we did it tonight. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys didn't have too much trouble with these fools. I had about 3 or 4 moderators. Thank you guys for being moderators, right? I didn't see a lot of shenanigans tonight, right? Salute to Knox, salute to Sims, Cameron. Like, listen, it was a great night. Appreciate you guys. I'm about to get out of here, man. All right. Listen, head on over to black-yeti.com. Those my guys over there. Make sure you let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental US. All right, gang. Listen, I'm out of here. I appreciate you watching. All right. Even you. Even you. All right. And go lock in and watch that Culture United that I just was on last week. Salute to the company, man. All right, gang. I'm out of here.